Hi-yo! What up, brain drainers? It's your boy JG, publisher of AuburnSports.com and the Commodore, both of that particular... Oh, my gosh, Bob himself is not on the horn right now. Who be texting me, bro? We got to change that caller ID, my bad. I'm sure we'll have Bob on later, but we'll change it now. Anyway, my name is Jay... Oh. We'll take that off. My name is Jay Tate. I am publisher of AuburnSports.com, and I'm going to be the host of The Brain Drain tonight. I also am, as you guys know, am the Commodore of AuburnSports.com and this show, although you guys really kick ass, and you guys are kind of like co-Commodores, but I just happen to be the guy that's in front of the camera chatting, talking, drinking, and bullshitting with all y'all every Saturday night around 7 o'clock. We're at 7:13 in the Central Time Zone right now, which is where my man Leif B lives. I mentioned on the show, or maybe it was on G-Pits, I said Leif lives in the Eastern Time Zone, but that's not true. Davis County, Kentucky is in the Central Time Zone. My fault completely. Yeah. Word, first of all, hope you guys had a great week, and I hope you guys are going to have a great week coming up. The weather here in Central Alabama has been average. It's been hazy, overcast, but not too warm. I would rather it be sunny. I would rather it be sunny or rainy, because you're accomplishing something with both of those. But when it's in this middle ground day after day after day, I feel like I live in Seattle, and it doesn't make me happy. If you guys live in Seattle, that's cool too, but I don't want to live there. It ain't my thing. Canoe Man says, I miss G-Pits. Of course, we do G-Pits every week, but he's talking about the video version. I feel like my laptop cannot handle it. We do 3 video streams. I don't even know if it handles 2 very well. We're working on a new iMac. I canceled my order from last week because they were supposed to have new iMacs come out on Tuesday, but then Apple said they were postponing that until the Christmas season, probably due to issues in China and production at their Foxconn plant out there. I better turn on the tape. I'm supposed to be taping this. Issues they've been having out there. So no new iMacs for now, which means I need to order it again because I'm not waiting until Christmas, y'all. Canoe Man keeps telling me laptop cooling pad, but I don't think the cooling pad is, I don't think that's going to help me, man. It doesn't help it when my CPU is at 120%, and it's like, yeah, everything's slowing down. It's not, it does get hot, but it just, this wasn't meant to do that, you know? This laptop, I have a good story. I think I've told you all this story on this one. It's a 2017, a quad-core i7 2.8 gigahertz, which is, it's fine for, regular life. But it ain't fine for when I'm doing complicated video stuff. So we will get a new one, a new iMac, maybe an iMac Pro, because they've got some refurbished ones that are way off retail. Those are absolutely beast machines. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go that route. So anyway, Canoe Man says, just humor me, I'll pay for it. And Pocket Watch jumps in there too. Sweet. All right. Anyway, I wanted to announce AU Pooch jumped in early on the chat and said that he was in Chile and he had been put there because he had gotten fussy with me, which people do from time to time, and so I let him out. It was a jailbreak for those of you who play Warzone. I let him out just right as we were starting the show. So AU Pooch is back posting, and I hope that you don't say mean things on the board. I'm sure you won't. 99.9% of the time, Pooch, you're doing good work. AU Storm in the house. Word. AU Storm, glad to have you, bro, again. And also Leif B. I mentioned him earlier in the show, but Leif B. was generous enough to hook me up with some Wathen's bourbon from, I believe this is from Owensboro, Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so it's one of those deals where it's distilled in Kentucky. They claim themselves to be a California product. But anyway, thank you very much to Leif B., who is already a Brain Drain Hall of Famer, but he just pushes it a little further. We're going to be drinking this Wathen's tonight. It's a brand that I wasn't familiar with until this bad boy arrived, and I'm pretty fired up about drinking it. So let's just go ahead and start drinking. I'd like to hear what you guys are having tonight. We're going to have, I've already spoken with Jeffrey Lee, so he's going to be on around 8 o'clock Central Time Zone. And I've already spoken with young Nate King, who is going to be on around 8:30 to 9 o'clock Central Time. Yeah. Daniel H. says, I'm in Chile and I have a Bama AVI. Daniel H., I forgot who you are right off. A lot of times we have issues. Like Canoe Man, he's the same name on the bunker. Same thing for Pocket Watch. AU Taxman, I haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure he'll be here if he's not already here. Cleveland Brown, we have lots of folks who use the same handle on the bunker, but you don't, so I don't know exactly which one you are. Man, this came up last week, didn't it? Because I remember I was fiddling around with somebody that had a Bammer AVI. Anyway, I'm sure you'll get me there. Oh, God damn it. Dude. God damn it, man. You really had a tough go of it at the end, brother. You had a very, very tough go of it. And I've had a couple people, I don't want to name any names, but people I trust, people I respect. Dadgummit. Really want to push. I'm doing this wrong, aren't I, Leif? I bet I am. Have really pushed for me to reconsider your situation. But, dude, man, it's one thing to say, hey, JG is a tool. I don't like him. He's a shitty moderator. He doesn't know how to write. I mean, that's fine, whatever. But you did some stuff that was really just trying to be an absolute jerk to me. I don't understand why. So, I don't know, man. It's a tough call. JS Lowry's in the house. Hold on, JS. I got you, bro. I cut you off. YouTube likes to leave some comments hidden. I guess it doesn't like the word bitch. I know you're saying it in the you're saying in the nicest way possible. And Wednesday Adams appreciates you, JS Lowry.
I would like to kill you. I will kill you. Can't we kill him?
Hey now. Let's see. Canoe Man jumps in and says, the board is a better place without God Damn It. Wow. That's not very nice. Well, I don't think you're trying to be mean, though, are you? Probably not. Wathans. By the way, it's Wathans single barrel. Oh, it doesn't hit real hard. It doesn't have a high proof. It's 94 proof, which is about normal for these days. A little more spicy than I would have expected. But it has kind of a soft burn. It's not harsh. And it's just kind of sticking with me. I like it. That's good. My man Ed D is in the house, who always keeps things on point and on brand with his questions about football and whatnot. And I'm definitely here to answer those as we move on through the night. Brother Man, AU Taxman, as predicted, is on in the chat. And we're glad to have you, AU Taxman. Yes, sir. Jeez. So that was it for God Damn It, I guess. He just kind of made that plea, and that's it. Canoe Man says, not trying to be mean, just expressing my opinion. Yeah, he sent me a really nasty personal message. I mean, like I said, man, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and there's probably people who think I'm a crappy writer, or I'm really dumb on these shows, and you might be right. I don't know. But I very rarely have people DM me and just be really, really shitty to me. Because I don't ever DM anybody else and act shitty to them. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm having a little bit more Wathans. At the end of the day, I mean, you guys are customers, even though I really, really like some of y'all on a personal level, you know? Kind of feel like we're E-friends. Some of y'all are real friends. My guys that play with me on Warzone, Locked On, Double D's, F and Tiger. My main man Against the Spread. Who else we play with? Chubby Butt Toots, Cardea, Patuta. Good guys to play with. Those are the crew. Let's see, One Rogue Omen. Anyway. Oh, GG32, of course. AU Pooch says, still feeling worse about the prospects of us playing this year. I don't like where it's headed, man. I just feel like if these cases continue to kind of escalate in a lot of areas, it's going to force their hand. And we can talk all day. I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow on Cheap Hits or Monday when we do it about the numbers because, Neil and I have some common ground and then some areas where a little bit different when it comes to COVID and the seriousness of it. But if the numbers continue to rise as they're doing right now, I don't really see how they're going to be able to play like this, regardless of if we think COVID is particularly lethal for kids in that age range. I mean, it's not. But we can't ignore the fact that you don't want the virus. Like, nobody wants it. Whether you're 8 or 88, you don't want it. You don't want to willfully give it to somebody. You don't want to expose somebody to it. And it's hard to argue that if there's going to be all these outbreaks, that the kids playing football with 85 kids, football players, plus 50, 60, 70 staffers. I mean, let's say it's 200 people working in close proximity. You know what I mean? It's hard to see it. And it really, really bothers me, guys. It really bothers me because I'm not an idiot. I mean, our business here, the one that pays my salary and Jay Lee's salary and Brian's salary and Nate's salary, it depends on football. I mean, we need football, but at the same time, I'm kind of powerless to affect that. So let's hit this one. This is what we're thinking about that. Leif B says, Jay, you going to try the mini bottle? Those are downstairs right now. You have to send for those. We also got the white dog from Leif, which is unaged Buffalo Trace product. So it's like clear white. I'm looking forward to hitting that too. Boomche says positive test numbers are up, not hospitalization rates and death rates. They're just testing more people. All right, listen, I'm not an expert on this stuff, not pretending to be, and you may be, I don't know. I'm not trying to say yay or nay. But the hospitalization rate in Texas is absolutely up. It is way up. They doubled in 10 days. So that's definitely an issue. And I know in Montgomery, our hospitalization rate is up, although our rate of infection is down a little bit. And then we had a day the other day, we lost 5 people to it. So, holy shiz. Wow, we're having a run on Super Chats. Hall of Famer Jazzy Joe jumps in with the first one. Says, JG, I'm rolling through Montgomery. Woot woot. I'll be back through tomorrow. I want to give you the Bruce Pearl decal. Holy shit, are you serious? I am totally game for that, bro. I got an extra one for you. I will DM you on the board my cell phone number, and you holler at me, all right? I'll meet you. Wherever I got to meet you and get that hooked up, man. I want to shake your hand or bang elbows or whatever. Appreciate you, brother. We got a big super chat from Daniel H. in the house. God Cammett. I mean, first of all, thank you very much. Second of all, I would rather have this conversation on the DM, though. If you want to call and we can talk this thing out on the air, that's fine, too. It's your call, your choice, so to speak. I mean, I'm open to it. I don't think you did anything that would, like, permanently keep you off the site, but I thought it was pretty shitty what you did, and I'd like to talk to you about it. So it's your call, brother. I don't really want to get into a COVID fight because I'm not an expert, and I'm not trying to shove anything down anyone's throat. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and I don't know which one's right and which one's wrong, so I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm overwhelmed by it because I don't know what's right. So if you guys want to fight about it, that's cool. I just would rather not do it on the show. Also, my man Love the Cats, Hornatius, jumping in with a super chat saying sneaking in some drain at a softball tournament. I know his daughter played, maybe? Maybe you're in the middle of a game right now. Glad to hear you at a softball tournament, though. That encourages me to know that kids are out there who love the game, who love softball, in your daughter's case, having a chance to play again. That's good. I drove by my soccer complex in Montgomery today, and they had a shitload of kids out there playing. It was some kind of a tournament. It might have been ODP, or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But it was really cool to see people back out there. Ed D says, have you checked the Montgomery hospital rates? I did like an hour ago. I mean, I haven't checked it since then. I mean, our infection rate in Montgomery's been down a little bit, although it was ridiculous for the longest time. And just yesterday or 2 days ago, Jefferson County finally pulled ahead of us in terms of infections, which is really bizarre. I mean, Birmingham's, 10 times the size of Montgomery? We now have 3,500 total cases. Oh, my gosh. There's crazy shit going on there. Our new cases per day, it's come way down from where it was maybe 2 weeks ago. It was ridiculous. It seems pretty stable now. I'm not particularly concerned about that part of it. Yeah, the death total is starting to bug me a little bit. I mean, in the last 10 days, we're plus 21. That's a lot of people in Montgomery, Alabama to die of that. That's just one man's opinion. And I don't see the hospitalization rate for Montgomery here. The hospitalizations per day number is up a little bit lately, but it's not off the chart. So it's hard to read. It's a problem. It's definitely a problem. Jazzy Joe comes through, boom, with another super chat. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, bro. Says, can't let Daniel one up me, LOL. Talking about God damn it. And Stu Pup also jumps in. Stu Pup is unbelievable, man. This guy's an animal. He super chats us every single show, morning, noon, or night. Always there, always part of the show, and it's very much appreciated. It says, just got back from the beach with the fam. Traveling with the kids is the G-Pits. He's really just saying pits. I need the brain drain to relax. You're here on the brain drain. It's the quiet storm. Yes. I was going to say that I do like the ladies. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing? Thank you guys for the super chats. You're unbelievable. Jazzy Joe, unreal. God Cammett, thank you as well. Let me see if you wanted to. Did you want to talk that out on the air? God Cammett says, what number? Can you get it on the bunker? I posted it on the bunker thread. Yeah, I don't even know if you can get on the bunker. I might have given you the full money, brother. Let me look here real quick. Let me pull up the. Yeah, I gave you the full money, didn't I? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you access to the bunker, although you still can't post. All right? And the number is on there. I like to just keep it on subscribers, man, for now. And if someday we change that, then we will. But I don't usually put the number in the chat. So anyway, it's there. And you can, if you want to call, I would love to talk to you about it. Boom J says, I don't tune into a show like this to talk about COVID. I do too. I guess you mean you also don't like talking about it. All right, well, let's not do it. Cass says, what are you drinking? What are we drinking tonight? I am drinking this Wathans single barrel from Owensboro, Kentucky, provided by Leif B. Brain Drain Hall of Famer Leif B., who is from that general area and was generous enough, kind enough, to send that to me along with some White Dog, which is unaged Buffalo Trace, which sounds pretty damn good, and also some secret sauce. But I'll just leave it at that. I'm going to have a little bit more of this Wathans, bro. Ruxpin says Chubby Butt Toots, LOL. We play with a guy named Chubby Butt Toots. We do. He's friends with Cardea and Pachuta, which tells me right away that, oh, my God. Which tells me right away he's a class individual. Those guys are actually really, really funny to play with. They're just like jokesters. Let's see. BP Rockman's in the house, and he says, where'd you go, BP Rockman? There you are. Should I come back to the bunker? The answer is yes. The answer is yes every time you ask that question. You know that you're a badass, and we love you. We love you and we miss you. We know you're going to come back. I hope you hurry back. I hope today's the day. In fact. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's very nice of you to say my hair looks extra good today. You're very nice. Boomja says, dang it, I'm getting sucked into making another comment. Why didn't the rates spike in May or early June? It's spiking now because it's getting hot. People are going outside and running the AC. I'll tell you what, it spiked in Montgomery about 2 weeks after Memorial Day. And then now it's kind of abated a little bit, but I don't have strong opinions on COVID except for I don't want it, and I'm really trying to not get it. BP says, hook me up, Jay, and I will. Yeah. I told you I would, and I will. You just want like BP Rockman version 3.0 or 2.1? Collins M in the house. Dude, I was just thinking about you yesterday. I was able to get my hands on some Virginia bourbon, which is a rare feat indeed in the state of Alabama. Collins is our number one poster from Virginia. And, of course, we're glad to have you as part of the show. O'Neill R. says War Eagle in the White House. Word. I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome. And then D. Lucky's in the house as well. TK salute to everyone. What's up? Glad to have D. Lucky, who I think has been an outstanding poster. He's always an outstanding poster, but he's been really good this week. Really good this week. Tasty. Collins, who is our best poster from Virginia, says he's actually in Montana. Wow, as our man Doc Dunster would say, oh, damn. Why are you dragging your hog all over us, man? Bet you out there partying. Hey, BP, just send me a text to remind me about that. You have my number, and I'll get that set up. I'll probably be tomorrow, though. Send that to me, and also send me whatever email address that you would want that to be connected to, and I will get it done. Brother. Canoe Man says D. Lucky is always a great poster. Of course, D. Lucky's a beast. We love D. Lucky. Started calling in. He's been on the bunker for a minute, but he just started calling maybe 3 months ago. And we're glad to have him. God Cammett, if you want to holler, I imagine you've gotten on the bunker and snagged that number. You're welcome to call. I have turned the phone line on. If you would like to go that route, I'm not trying to force you to do that. I'm fine with chatting through other means as well. Jazzy Joe with yet another super chat, his third of the day, says, y'all, I just bought a Fender American Professional Stratocaster. Her name will be Layla. I'll send a pic of her Monday when I pick her up. He is a guitar fiend. You also bought some kind of a guitar either designed by or set to be just like the one that Sinister Gates uses as part of Avenged Sevenfold, which I have not seen a picture of, but is probably pretty sick because Sinister Gates is pretty sick. I believe his real name is Brian. There we go. BP Rockman sent me the text. All right, bro, I'm going to leave it here so I don't forget it, and I will hook you up. Oh, wow, look at this. Our favorite poster from Virginia, who's actually in Montana now, drops us a big fat super chat. Collins M., my man. Appreciate you, brother. And I would be drinking Virginia bourbon right now because I would need to clear that out, except our man Leif B. hooked us up with some Wathans, a product of, well, it's distilled in Kentucky, in Owensboro. 94 proof. Honestly, this is a good bourbon for somebody who maybe is intimidated by bourbon. You know, they're scared that they're going to drink it and it's just going to kick their ass, because this is not the kind of bourbon that kicks your ass. This is the kind of bourbon that shakes your hand and says, it's nice to meet you. It's not mean. It behaves itself. And I like that about it. Drinks easy, too. Really, really easy. It just goes down too easy. Remember, you guys remember 6 weeks ago when I did that larceny barrel proof? God bless. I hope I never see it again. Every single slug of that was just like I was in a ring with Mike Tyson, and he won. It took me a week to get over that. Jazzy Joe says he got a Schecter Sinister Gates Custom S. Holy shit, I got to see what this is. When we get that new iMac, we're going to get a new platform so I can show you screenshots better. It's hard as heck. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's the one that I've seen him play with that one before. It's a pretty sick ass. Is it is it like black and white or is it red and white? Yo, it's sweet. It's got the Bat Country logo on the fret too, doesn't it? That's bad. I think it's bad as hell, dude. Let's see if I can get that. I think I can put that up here. Love the Coach Dye tribute. Yeah, we did that, I think, 3 weeks ago when he passed, and I don't know, man. I just decided to leave it up there just because he's missed, and the way that he went out is about as badass as you can do it, right? Like, he passes away, and then they plant him, there in his preserve next to one of the Tumors Oaks. He got essentially a seedling, and it was growing on his land, and he's buried next to his oak, and essentially, I don't mean to be morbid about it, but he's going to fertilize that tree and help it grow. I mean, that's about as freaking hardcore badass as you can do. Whew, man. Oh, I want to get up that Sinister Gates guitar. It's very badass. I'm sure the Stratocasters are badass too. There's just a lot of ways to do that one. A Stratocaster, there's a lot of those. A lot of different ways you can do that one, but they all have this kind of a similarity to it. That's the Sinister Gates, or kind of what I think of it as. That's a bad man. See the little Bat Country logo there? It says Sin right there on the fret, on the neck or whatever. That's badass, dude. Oh, yeah. Let's see what Jazzy Joe says. He had, gold and black. So it's very similar to the one I just posted. Got the devil horns on the end there. Sweet. That's badass. I do love me some Avenged Sevenfold. My wife hates it. I like to listen to it when I play FIFA. My wife was always like, turn it down. It's cool. She likes listening to Celine Dion, which is fine. Whew, man, unbelievable night of the Super Chats. Thank you very much to all you guys. Jazzy Joe, God Cammett, Collins M. You guys are awesome. Also, of course, BP Rockman, Stu Pup, Hornatius. You guys are all beasts. Unbelievable. Let's see. Collins M says, went to a Ducks Unlimited event in Notasulga once, and they auctioned a pair of bar stools, and someone said, bid, coach. And he said, them ain't got backs. I'd end up on my ass. Oh, man. Hornatius says he fertilizes his trees by crapping behind them. Yeah, as I understand it, I think you have some trees that could probably use that, some smaller trees. Anyway, that's a badass guitar there, bro. And then Canoe Man says, looks good, however, not nearly as good as Jill Arrington. Yes. Jill, where are you? Uh-oh. Oh. Jill, where'd you go? Oh, no. It's because I had to move around some stuff on my desktop. We can't lose Jill, though. We can't. I just had to move her. I got it. Hold on. We never want to lose Jill. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Why did it? Hottest girl I ever saw face to face my entire life. Although I think you guys would agree she's just generally hot anyway. Whew. All right. Haven't heard from God Cammett, even though the phone lines are open. I am totally down with that, or not. Whatever you want to do. Jazzy Joe says he likes Rachel Weisz, who is also an extremely hot woman. I looked her up, I think, a couple weeks ago, and you mentioned her, and I'm on board. I'm going to have a little more Wathens. Tastes really, really good. Let's see, Life B said, did y'all get much dust? It was just kind of hazy up here. Definitely hazy here a couple nights ago. I haven't noticed it as much lately. I think primarily because it's been overcast. Who could that be? Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing, never had it so good. How are you?
I'm glad to have you on the show. Who I got?
This is, do I give my name or like my handle?
Handle.
God Cammett.
What's up, God Cammett?
Man, not much, man. How are you?
Well,
who's this?
This is JG. I am one of the moderators at AuburnSports.com, and I'm also the Commodore of this particular show.
You sounded different.
Hey now.
Your voice sounded.
Here, let me try this one.
I was a little.
Hello again, and welcome to the AuburnSports.com rundown presented by Voodoo Wing Company. How about that?
Deep voices intimidate me. That was amazing. I miss Voodoo Wing commercials.
We do it every week. God damn it. So the business at hand is you have been banned since, golly, when was it? Maybe late March? Something like that? Early April?
Yeah, I was made a pretty, bad post about somebody, hopefully catching COVID. I'm bad about reacting bad. I'm not good at just letting things pass sometimes.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. So if you made the post, obviously I had to take action because that was a pretty bad post, right?
Yep.
So I took action, and I don't call you names, I don't think. I don't remember us having a really bad, argument about it, and then you just kind of went off on me. I didn't understand what you were doing.
Yeah. I mean, if I was searching my inner self, my inner God Kamet, I think sometimes certain places are biased, and that may have been, some, I blame my mother when I was growing up. I'm just kidding. But, that was, I shouldn't have done that. I was probably drinking too much.
That happens. I drink a lot myself sometimes. So you've been.
I do apologize.
All right, man.
And I hope everybody's doing well.
Right. Well, I think the DM that you sent to me somehow became almost viral on the DM channels on the site. So a lot of people were like, dude, he really shoved that one up your ass, JG. And so it was almost like you were telling people what you had sent me, which is very unusual. Tell me about that.
I did. Yep. Okay. So I did do that, some screenshots, just because, again, I guess I took it as you were attacking, a different ideology than it just seems, I'm not going to go back. It doesn't matter. I did. Shit.
All right.
I snitched on the shit I was sending you, and I shouldn't have done that. I didn't snitch. I just thought that would get me some E point.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you've been keeping up with the bunker since then, right?
I haven't been able to.
Oh, well, that's right. But you would like to.
And so I do. Yep, I do watch. I have been watching the Brain Drain, as much as I can when it comes up. But
all right. So, would you like for me to reinstate you?
I would.
If you were me,
that's not a.
Is it a good idea for me to reinstate you?
I can't make that call. Okay.
Okay. Are you going to be cool?
I'll do my best.
Okay. So we're going to do it right now. Do you have a bad signature? You have anything cruel or gross there?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right. I'm going to clear you right now. You've just been cleared. You still have a Bammer avatar, so you might want to change that one.
Okay. That's probably for my wife, Bama Tat. She has, unfortunately. I'm married to one.
That's unfortunate, but I understand. My wife's
it allows me to see how much the Auburn family is worth, being around that.
Okay, I understand. I married a Louisville girl, and I'm a Kentucky guy, so we had to kind of work through that. But it's okay. Sometimes you can use that as motivation to do things or not do things. Just depends. Anyway, God damn it, I think that you're funny. You push the envelope sometimes, and everybody that pushes the envelope sometimes goes a little bit too far. I myself, I'm an envelope pusher in real life, so I respect that position. But unless I'm being a dick to you, there's no real reason to be a dick to me is kind of how I look at it. So I hope that we can kind of keep that ideology in place for both ways moving forward.
Yep.
Is that cool?
That's cool, man.
All right. Just be cool. Don't just be cool. God damn it, you have been cool for a really long time. 97% of your time on the bunker, I think you have been funny and humorous. And then there was you got hateful there for a period, and I think it pissed me off and other people. Just be the cool God damn it, and everything's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'm glad we got this worked out, and thank you very much for your super chat, bro.
Yeah, man. And thank you for having a deeper voice in your life.
Hey now. All right, man. You be good, all right?
All right, man.
See you, man.
You too.
There you go. God Cammett. He's the man. Looks like he last called in. We have spoken to him before. I'm just not sure when. I can't look that up right now. So, there we go. God Cammett has been reinstated. I know that this may turn some people off, but you guys heard me. I asked him to try to be the cool God Cammett, and hopefully we can get that, because God Cammett can be pretty freaking funny. Okay. I want to get back. Ed Darby asked a question earlier, and I missed it, and I was working on something else. He asks, JG, other than the tight end, do you see Chad Morris elevating Williams, i.e. DJ, and Schwartz's play? Will we see wideouts catching the ball in space? Hey now. You know what that means? We're going to the phone lines. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up, JG?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
One, the only, the BP Rock man.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Not much. Just sitting here chilling, listening to everybody, and figure I'd go ahead and ask you to let me come back or get back on the site. I'm kind of missing everybody. I got my son through high school, graduated at 16, starts Auburn at 16, so I'm kind of excited.
Oh, damn. That's like a lamp right there, bro. Damn. Dude, my daughter didn't get out until 18.
Yep. He'll start, he won't turn, 17? It's almost, I think, 3 weeks into his freshman year. And he got in an Auburn aviation program, which is also very hard. So I'm kind of feeling high right now with that.
Well, you should be. That's incredible, dude. I thought my daughter was smart. You're way ahead of me.
Well, I don't know where he got it from. It wasn't from his dad.
Well, you are a Spurs fan. Those people tend to be smart.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
First of all, when you were asking people on the chat if you wanted folks to have you back, everybody wants you back, BP.
No, I've gotten a lot of texts, and I had to take some time. I mean, I've shared it before. I fight a lot of depression and stuff, and realized that there's a lot of good people in bunkers that actually reached out to me, and it's time to get back to my boys, my family, and this time I won't let stuff get to me. But it's just been a rough year. My dad getting cancer and different things and family issues, but I'm getting back to my normal self. So I figure it's time to get back on the bunker.
Yeah, it's time to, man. That's your family, bro. Your online family, anyway. You're like one of the most popular. You have the highest Q score in the bunker.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I would. I know, dude. I'm in charge of the Q score. I know what it is, and you're about as high as it gets.
Yeah.
Lewis of Hot Tub fame says he tried to get his kids to call you on Father's Day, but your voicemail was full. That was a very nice thing to do.
Yeah, because we've been wondering who the real father is, and Lewis knows that his last kid was mine. I appreciate his wife's time, too.
Yeah. No, you've been pretty good. I think you called in maybe about a month ago, BP. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Jibble had texted me, and Papa Bear texted me and begged me to call in, so I did. And figured, it's time to get back. Work's gotten really good, and things have gotten better for me, and it's just time to get back to normal life.
Hell yeah. Well, we need you back, bro.
I just have to stay away from people like Mike CB.
He's your bad uncle, no doubt.
Yeah, he's definitely the bad uncle.
All right, so I've got your information like I asked you for. Appreciate you getting with me, and I will get you hooked in, get you going. I don't know what condition I'm going to be in about 2 hours, but we'll work on it.
All right, once I get the message from him, I'll log in and give everybody a big hello.
All right. Word, BP. We love you,
brother. All right,
brother.
everyone have a good one. All right.
See you, man.
Peace.
Bye-bye. There he is, BP Rockman, the man with the highest Q score probably in bunker history outside of D. Trudeau. Just a friend to all, an enemy to none, except for the guys whose wives have been hanging out with BP, which maybe it can be more than we realize. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, JG, what's up?
Word, who I got?
This is War Eagle 0008. It's been a minute. How you doing?
Great, man. Glad to have you, bro.
Hey, man. Couple things. One serious, and then one not so serious. I wanted to say a big shout out to the bunker. Lost my mother and grandmother about a month ago, and the support was unbelievable. And just want to say you've done a great job making community, and everybody helps to build into that. And it was pretty cool to see. So just want to say thank you to everybody. Meant a lot.
It's a great community, man. When you need prayer warriors, dude, we got a lot of those.
No doubt about it. And super helpful. On a less serious, more entertainment note, seeing some videos of the young, handsome basketball players on campus. Have you been able to talk to anybody? And what do you think about these young kids in the new class? There's a bunch of them, and early reports. Anything you got?
No, not yet. And I have asked. The problem is that I can't even get over there to see them. Like, they have it all completely closed down. So, like, what me and Jeffrey do, we would just kind of roll up into the arena and talk to whoever we could talk to. That's kind of how we did business. And the arena's locked now. And, I mean, the coaches don't even really go in there very often either. So it's really difficult for me to get any kind of intel right now on anything. They're not doing any kind of, like, serious activities at this point. So it's just kind of hard to judge. They love all these kids. They think this is going to be an incredible group of players, either now or in short order. But, yeah, I haven't been able to get much, unfortunately.
So my thought is, and this is me with no information, but that JT Thor is going to be too talented to keep off the floor. Is just my gut.
Where do you think he plays?
And Jalen Williams, I think he plays a 4, and I think you got to move Jalen. Jalen Williams is more talented than Flanagan, is my heart of hearts, and I think. I wonder if he can play the 3, and that was where my question was. Do you think he has that ability?
I think that JT could play 3 better than Jalen could play 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and I happen to love Flanagan, but he's got some really big holes, right? Like his
he
free
just
throw
can't shoot.
He's not a long-range shooter at all at this point, and his free throw shooting is horrible too. If you're going to be a driver, you've got to be able to hit free throws because you got to have both, the way Chris Denson did, you know. He could do both, and he was a tremendous player. I think Wes can be like that, but until his free throw shooting gets over at least 65%, and he's got a ways to go to get there.
I think he's got to – I mean, to be a wing in BP's system, I mean, you don't have to be Chuma at 38%, but I think you got to be 30% shooter, and he was 14 last year. So we're there's a gap there, right? Like
pretty big.
I mean, our starting wing can't be a 14% 3-point shooter, or we're just one dimensional. And I think that's exactly who BP is he rolls on the opposite of that. So I think that's interesting. So you think JT has the ball handling ability to be a 6'9", 6'10", 3 guy? That's what
not ideally. Not ideally, but I think he translates better to 3 than Jalen does because I don't think Jalen has that quickness that you would want from your 3, and I do think JT has that.
But he can't blow somebody off the ball, in other words.
I don't think Jalen can, and I'm not sure about JT. I've seen him do it against 4s, and he was just so much quicker than those guys that I think he's got a chance to beat some 3s as well. I don't think perfectly – in a perfect world, I don't think JT plays 3, but he could better than Jalen, in my opinion.
I think that's good stuff. So, like, what do you – I mean, I think Sharif's obvious. There's no question Sharif's our point.
Yeah.
And I think Air Cambridge plays too, but I don't know. Like, and after that, I think Sharif plays the point, and I think Stretch plays 5. And I think we have a lot of talented guys, but, I mean, in my mind, it would be Sharif – and then Cambridge.
Probably Cambridge.
I would have thought Williams before this call, and then Thor, and then Stretch. But what do you kind of?
I think you might be on the right 5 there. I think you have JT and Jalen mixed up. You know, just different positions. That might be your best 5.
Even though
right
he's
there.
a small 4. Because he's probably 6'7", right? Like on a great day. Like,
yeah, right. But he's got range.
Him at 6'8", and he's not 6'8". Like Jalen's not 6'8". He's 6'7". And And so, like, I just worry about him against teams like at Kentucky, against, you know what I'm saying? Like against big, beefy, tall, long teams that he gets outmanned. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, there's definitely some concerns, man, and he's going to have to get better. But he was getting better last year. I mean, I felt like we were watching him really come alive. Although I look back now at the numbers, bro, and he was 1 of 9 from 3. He's a guy that I've seen in practice so many times, just absolutely stroking from outside. But he's 1 of 9 in games.
Right.
So, but his 2-point percentage is 74%.
DHSAA,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
DHSAA tape. No, I'm sorry. My bad too. His high school tape indicates that he can stroke it, and so it's odd to me that his percentage is that low. But maybe it's just he didn't get in until late in the season and he's a little nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
I think that's part of it. But consider this, dude. From 2-point, he was 74% from 2-point range, which is just stupid. And then he's 3 of 3 from the line. He didn't get to the line a lot, but he was 3 of 3. So, I mean, dude's got some absolute ability. There's no doubt about it. And to me, I just think he's more of a 4, even though, you know, I think Pearl in the perfect world probably has longer, taller 4s. So I know where you're coming from, and JT does have that length, but I just think skill-wise, Jalen fits better at 4, and JT probably fits better at 3. But they really needed a 3. Mac McClung, who's probably more of a 2, he could have pushed Devin Cambridge to 3, and then he could have played 2 or something like that. I think Cambridge is really good, dude.
You think? I think that's interesting. I think Mac McClung's a 1. Like, watching his highlight tape, the dude's 6'2", and he strokes it, and he's super athletic. Like, in my mind, Mac McClung was enticing because he had a great highlight tape like Shaq Johnson, but he's a 1, and we didn't really need it. I think he did the right thing going to Tech.
I have to agree with you on that. I know where you're going with that, and I agree. Because Tech, he's going to play 1, and here he was not going to play 1.
100%.
He was going to play 2 here.
No, he's going to back up Sharif Cooper, and he's like, I'm not doing that. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't have done that either. I would have advised my son not to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the right thing for you, for the best interest of your future.
Yeah.
But then my last question, I'll let you run. Chris Moore is a guy who I think is super interesting, 6'6",
Yes.
grit. What do you kind of like? I mean, is he like a souped-up Deshaun Murray in that vein? Like, what do you kind of expect out of him? And I'll let you run.
I think that's a fair comparison. I think he's going to be a much higher ceiling Deshaun. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. I mean, he's a shorter 4 who battles for balls, and he's good in the open court. But he's definitely a power forward, I think. But he's not a big towering power forward. He's kind of, you know, the way Barkley was. Barkley was always a power forward, obviously. But at 6'6",
right.
And he had some range, and he had some ability to run in the open court. Barkley did. I don't like comparing a kid to a Hall of Famer like Charles Barkley, but similar kinds of players. I mean, I'm just saying he's from that kind of athletic tree. So, I mean, they're really hoping that they snuck one
and
through.
Watching his highlights, and because it's hard to know a lot about these kids until they start playing, because their highlights are so edited. But he doesn't seem to. There's not a lot of 3-point shots in his highlight reel, you know. And so I don't know if that's something he can do, or that's explicitly something he's like, you know, Ben Simmons, like, I'll do anything to not shoot it. You know, I don't know. I would doubt that based on Bruce's system, that he would sign somebody that's that abhorrent to the idea of shooting a 3-point shot. But I don't know, and I didn't know if you had any more insight on who he is.
Yeah, I don't have as much on him. I mean, we'll just have to kind of see how that works out. But, you know, BP talks so much about positionless basketball, and he wants everybody, maybe not Stretch, but everybody else to be able to shoot. So it's kind of interesting. But if he sees something special, he'll go for it, even if maybe there's some holes in that game and they think they can develop it.
Sounds great. Well, Jay, thanks for taking the call. Have a great night. Thanks to the bunker. Great community. You've done a great job, and love the shows, love the site. Keep doing what you do.
Hey, we're
really
sorry for your
appreciate it.
loss too, man. Seriously, that's a tough that's a tough loss right there. 2 big ones. So hang in there, bud.
Much appreciated, and thanks for everything, and enjoying the show, and thanks for taking the call.
All right, bro. We'll see you.
See you, Jay.
Some good questions there. Really good stuff on the basketball. I love talking basketball. You guys know that business. Talking about Ben Simmons, Ed Darby got a kick out of that, I think. Ben Simmons, layup master is what Ed D says. Absolutely. I feel like earlier in the season before the COVID shut it down, like Ben Simmons had hit his like first 3. I mean, it was like it really is that rare that Ben Simmons even tries a 3. And it's so strange because he's a point guard in the NBA. Like, those guys shoot threes, but not him. Hey, you Storm 20 says, good call. War Eagle 0008. I thought it was an outstanding call. And it reminds us all of how positive the bunker can be when people need prayers and people need support. We've seen it many, many times through the years. Many, many times, shit, just recently. You know, people get sick, and you know, you like to know that there's prayers coming to you. You know, I've benefited from that myself several times. So, Jazzy Joe says, "Do you have a Skype to call?" Hell yeah, I do. It's on the bunker, bro. Oh, do you have to have Skype to call? Excuse me. I'm sorry to have misinterpreted your question. No, we have a regular phone number, so you just call in like you're calling your buddy on the phone, and it comes through to my Skype. Because we have we pay to have an actual number, and that's how it works. I think your standard Skype account wouldn't work that way, but we pay to have a phone number, so you can just call it in, Jazzy Joe. The number's on the bunker, and I know you're on there. So let's see. Daniel said, I hit X on the chat 100 and wanted to make sure it didn't delete payment. I don't think so, bro. I don't believe so. And again, great call, God Cammit. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I hope we have many more years of you kicking ass on the bunker. I mean that, in a good way. Lewis says he's in the shower right now. I don't know if I can believe him on that. He is our hot tub expert. Also, things we can talk about on the show. We've been working on the top 20, the AuburnSports.com top 20 that Brian Matthews has been kind of the anchor on that. And here lately, I think in the last week, we have done Chandler Wooten. I actually wrote a little piece in there because I was the high voter on Chandler Wooten. I think a lot of him. I don't think he's outstanding at any one particular element of that position, but he's a guy that's just consistent. He will hit you hard. He won't necessarily wrap up that well, but he'll hit you hard. He's pretty good in coverage. He's pretty good against the run. He's a big dude. He can play inside or outside, and I just think he's the kind of guy who has the experience to help them a lot, and also he's really big in the locker room. He is if you ever have a chance to meet Chandler, he's one of the 5 or 6 kids on this team that, like, if you had a chance to meet all of them, he'd be one of the 5 or 6. I would say you've got to talk to him because Chandler is he's kind of next level when you're talking to him. He's very bright, and he is a very calm person when you talk to him, and he's very careful with the things that he says. So he's like a profound person to listen to him talk. A lot of times we talk to kids and they just kind of give us reflexive answers, you just ask them and it's just kind of like the first thing that pops in their head is what they say, which is cool. It doesn't bother me at all. That's just kind of how it is when you're inexperienced. But Chandler, it's like you ask him a question and it's just, he thinks about it first and then he gives you a deeper answer. And he is absolutely a locker room leader, no doubt about it. He's a guy that young guys look up to and people listen to. And, to me, he's taken over that role specifically where Deshaun Davis was. He was definitely the unquestioned locker room leader when he was here. And now he plays with in the Bengals system. And then now, even though KJ Britt is the leader of the defense because he's the alpha dog, I think Chandler, personality-wise, is that guy. Not that Kenny isn't. He is too, but he's more of a quiet grinder. KJ Britt is. And then Chandler is also a hard worker, but he's a talker. And he's thinking, and he has rational, calm answers for everybody. You got to have people like that in the system. He's been raised right. Put it that way, no doubt about it. Also, some other guys we wrote about this week, Zacoby McClain. I didn't have real strong opinions on him. I like him, but he's just not somebody that I think about a whole lot. Smoke Monday was our number 12 player. I thought he was off last year, and I thought his coverage was not great. I think he got a lot of hype because he had a pretty good freshman year, and he has a cool name. But last year, I thought he performed under expectations. Hey, everybody has a bad season sometimes. He's going to get a chance to play a whole lot this year. And we'll see what happens with him. Christian Tutt at 11. I also wrote something about him. We'll get back on Christian Tutt. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
JG, what's going on?
Word. I know this voice, but I forgot who it is. Is it against the spread?
Close. AU Storm 20.
Damn it. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Jay? How you doing?
Well, another day in paradise, living here in the capital city of Montgomery, Alabama.
I saw you with your mask earlier. I guess it's required there, huh?
I was just messing with my wife wearing it earlier. It pisses her off. I mean, she's a mask wearer out in public, but in the house, she's like, "Why are you wearing that?" And I just do it to annoy her, and I just still had it on.
Yeah, I was very anti-mask at the beginning and kind of switched my view. And then, I've traveled a lot for work, and we started traveling, I guess, a week or two ago, and have been on a couple flights since. And, they're required on flights, and it's just the worst on a flight. I mean, it's brutal. And in the airport the whole time, and it's just the new norm for however long that's going to be.
The flights that you were on, were they like half full, or what was it that like?
Well, so the middle seat was taken out, like no one could sit in the middle seat. But besides that, they were pretty full.
Was it literally like removed?
No, just you
you
can't sit in that middle seat. Like it's just on when you book the flight, there's an X over it. So it's, aisle seat and window seat are the only ones you can sit in.
All right, cool. But wearing your mask that whole time, I bet that really did suck. That's a long way to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just hot, and you're breathing your own air the whole time. And, they now, at least when I fly Delta, they now walk down the aisle and they hand you a baggie with like a water bottle and a snack in there. So like you can't say, yeah, can I get a Coke and cookies, or whatever. That's no longer a thing right now. So it's just weird. It used to be a luxury, and I used to love it. And, I'm sure it'll come to that again. It's just weird right now. I don't like it.
I am concerned about them playing football this fall, Storm. And how concerned are you?
It's definitely interesting. I think I mentioned I work in the healthcare industry and in analytics and data. And through a lot of the physicians I've worked with, especially last week, they talked about how, and I know I'm not a physician, and people in the chat might, I think I tried to talk about it like a few months ago, and everybody's like, "Shut up, dude." But there's a definitely this thing's mutating in a sense. Like there's a different. They think there's multiple strands of this, and while like it's published in some medical journals. The majority of the public, like, they're not reporting that in the news. So, every time there's a case or anything like that, like the news reports it obviously, and, for good reason too. But, there's just a lot of data out there that's like not being reported in the sense of, it's this strand per se that it's affecting a lot of other people, because the original one that was just horror stories and people on ventilators everywhere.
Yeah.
That's like not the case anymore. So there's a lot of asymptomatic cases, especially, in Auburn, where, my brother's in school there, and like all of his friends have gotten it, and they're all fine now, so like herd immunity is building in these places. But like you said, just with the national narrative and the numbers rising, I'm definitely concerned about it too. And I wasn't that way a week ago.
I know it changes week to week, man. That's what sucks.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely until something major comes out and they just keep reporting the numbers, I just think people are going to get skittish. And it's only going to take one team, I think, to shut it down, and then everybody's going to follow suit, just like, with the tournaments this past March. So it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely brutal to lose March Madness. Sucked so bad. Ugh.
Hey, so I was calling tonight because, I know you're a basketball guy and I'm a basketball guy, and this whole War Tampa thing that has, kind of sparked the rejuvenation of Auburn fans with, Bryce and some of those guys playing. So I put a list together because I was looking through some of these old rosters, like, what Auburn player that still probably might be playing somewhere, which is like 4, could, rejoin and join a team, or I just was like looking through this rosters, and I wanted to say some names to you that you might remember or you might not from the decade of 2010 to 2020.
All right.
So here's some players
Who are still
that
playing.
you may or may not remember.
Okay.
Do what?
Guys, these guys who are still playing?
No, they're not playing. They were just on an Auburn basketball roster during this decade.
Okay. Let's do it.
Number 1, Dennis Crucianis.
Get the fuck out of here. Well, you played at Auburn?
You don't remember him?
Hell no, I don't remember that name. Are you making that up?
I'm dead serious. Go look. It was 2013-14, Barbie's last year.
Holy shit. I don't remember that name at all.
So he was like, he started some games as a power forward. He's like 6'11" from Lithuania.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, I would have bet you $100 that I would have known every name you said, and here I would have lost it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so I remember my friends and I watched YouTube videos of him. We were like, this guy's the next Dirk, like, and he was like this soft. He was very soft down low and was a lefty. And I think he plays overseas now in Europe, but he transferred to, oh crap, where'd
Looks
he
like
go?
he went to Charlotte and then Eastern Washington.
Yeah, that's where he went. But yeah, he was on a Barbie team.
I don't remember Bennis at all.
Ronald Delph.
Now that name does ring a bell, but I don't remember him.
So he never played. He suited up. He was a freshman. He actually got kicked off the team with Alex Thompson when that all went down. No, not Alex Thompson. So there's a couple guys who got kicked off the team,
Shaq,
and he was one of them. And
yeah, Shaq got kicked off.
Never
too.
came back.
Shaq Johnson? Shaq. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, Shaquille Johnson.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. You probably remember this one, Matthew Atue.
Attaway. Yeah, Matthew Attaway was a Canadian who ended up transferring to Washington. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept having foot problems here.
He did.
And then when Bruce came in, he left. So
Attaway was a cool cat, man. I enjoyed talking to him. He was kind of an angry or just kind of done with everybody's shit kind of guy, and I like that about him. He just didn't put up with a lot of crap. I liked him. This is a side note.
So Andre Malone.
I don't think so, man. I don't think I remember that one either.
He led the team in scoring in 2010, 2011.
How do I not remember that? Wow.
That was a team. Ernest Ross, Frankie Sullivan was on there.
Lucas Hargrove. Yeah.
Tay
Waller.
Tony Naismith.
Yeah, now he transferred in from Oklahoma, and he couldn't play dead. He was terrible.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when it was like, oh shit, they got a kid from Oklahoma, and it was like, that's a big deal at Auburn, you know. And now Oklahoma's dying to get the Auburn kids, you know. Willie Kawazi, that name definitely rings a bell for me. He played a little bit, right?
Yeah, he was a long 7-footer from Africa, I think, and played on one of those Barbie teams. A lot of these guys are Barbie guys, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I thought that he was decent, I thought, but he got into some trouble maybe, or just got sick of Barbie. I don't know. Damn.
Yeah. A couple of these guys you'll probably remember. Noel Johnson.
Yeah, I remember him a little bit. He didn't play a whole lot. Was that right at the beginning of VP or right at the end of Barbie?
Right at the end of Barbie, transferred in from Clemson.
Yeah. He was not any good.
Last couple guys here, Dion Wade.
Oh, yeah. Great. Oh, man, he's a great kid. He just wasn't good enough to play here. I mean, I think he was a Barbie kid that actually stayed around for BP in the beginning. Is that right? And he went to Miami, Ohio. He belonged at Miami, Ohio. But he was a really cool kid, man.
Yeah, he was in one of my classes. He was a cool guy.
He was a really, really nice kid.
I agree.
Yeah. Did we lose AU still?
Remember him?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lost you there for like 5 seconds. Who was it?
Oh, Josh Langford.
Oh, yeah. Josh Langford, for sure. Not the one that's at Michigan State.
No, this is the one that Barbie always yelled on the sideline. Josh! Just constantly.
Barbie. Tony Barbie cracks me up, dude.
Yeah, I just thought these were funny. This funny. Like, I was looking through just all those rosters from when they were just absolutely horrible, and just like thinking, like, I kind of remember that guy, I kind of don't. And then now, looking at the rosters now, it's just like you just shake your head at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster for Barbie's last year, and I mean, how many of these kids would even play for BP? Like, nope. I mean, Denson maybe would have been like the last guy on the bench. I happen to like Chris Denson. KT would have been like a bench warmer, and then Taj would not have played. AP, as much as I love him, he wouldn't have played at Auburn. Asan Dixon Tatum, no way. Malcolm Canada, no way. Dion, no way. Attaway was actually pretty damn good. He just was hurt a lot. Don Granger, who I absolutely love, he wouldn't have played for BP, no way. And Alex Thompson, I mean, he should have been at Samford all along. Good kid. So They were just really hurting. They were hurting in recruiting, dude.
Well, there was the one class with Jordan Price, Shaq Johnson, a guy named Brian Greene Jr. That like had these, YouTube All-Star videos, and we were like, we finally got some players here. And then, they all stayed 1 year and then left. And that's where, in my eyes, I saw the Shaq Johnson YouTube videos of him just dunking on everybody, and thought that we were going to get this all-world player, and then he came in here and didn't do anything. And that's where it opened my eyes that you have to be careful when watching some of these YouTube videos of these players. And like the guy who called just a little bit ago said, they could be all-world on YouTube and can't hit a jump shot, and then, they're nothing. So it's definitely fun to go back and look at some of those names. I figured you would enjoy.
That's good stuff, man. You stumped me on some of those, and I would never have guessed you'd been able to do that. So that's awesome. That's good stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend. And we'll holler at you later.
All right, E-Storm. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
It's been good stuff. Hey, I do want to mention that Jordan Price, he was actually a good player. Like, I swear to God, he was hurt at Auburn, and he was overweight at Auburn. But he went to LaSalle, and I'm looking at KenPom right now, and they don't put points per game on here. But, I mean, dude could play. He shot 34% from three, 35%, and then 35%, and he shot a lot. His smallest number, his least number of shots for his season was 195. So, I mean, he was playing a lot for LaSalle, and he was playing. He was a player. The irony is that he left Auburn and went to LaSalle. He was recruited to LaSalle by Harris Adler, who was an assistant at LaSalle at the time, snatched him up and got him to LaSalle, and then Harris came to Auburn. True story. Chip says, Tony Barbie's just the worst. Tony was tough. We had back-to-back coaches there who just thought they were awesome based on their backgrounds. Jeff Lebo was not necessarily he was actually a good guy. I really do. I think Jeff Lebo's a good guy. Like, just if he was your friend, like, you'd like him. He's all right, dude. He's kind of living off his UNC fame, but that's okay. And his dad was a really important part of his assessment program, basically. I mean, his dad, Dave Lebo, was the guy who was basically saying, okay, we need to recruit this kid. We don't need to recruit this kid. And Jeff, he wasn't necessarily as involved with that. Then he left, and it was Barbie, and Barbie was just like, he was just the worst, man. He was so difficult to deal with. He had such an incredibly high opinion of himself, even though he was, still kind of nobody, and was digging his way out at at Auburn at that time. Was not a great program. And it's like he wanted to be treated like he was John Calipari, and he hadn't done anything. He'd had one good year at UTEP. And before we all make fun of Jay Jacobs for that, I thought it was the right hire. I really did. I thought he was going to be good. I really did. AU Storm notes that Jordan Price did help get LaSalle to the Sweet 16, so that is very significant. Absolutely. He was a player. He really was. He was kind of heavy, and his feet were messed up here. But he got straightened out. J.S. Lowry says Lebo could coach circles around Barbie. Yeah, I agree. Lebo was a better coach than Barbie. Barbie was supposed to be a good recruiter, and he just didn't get it going. And the reason is that he had been so groomed, or he had spent so much time in the Nike world, and then he was at Auburn. He was kind of thrust into the Under Armour world, and he just didn't have the networks. The networks that worked for him before, both at UTEP and at Memphis, didn't work anymore because Auburn was Under Armour. Now, BP is such a huge personality that he's able to overcome that, and he also has some outstanding recruiters working with him. And he was able to break that chain, but at the time, Barbie was not. And Barbie, he's not in BP's realm. If you could just kind of put some truth serum into Barbie, he would acknowledge that. Absolutely. I just never understood why he thought that he should have been treated or feted as such like the savior of Auburn basketball when he hadn't done anything. And he was impossible to get a hold of. I don't know why people do that. Weird. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's up, JG?
Word, we got Ruxy Poo in the house?
Jazzy.
Who is this?
No, this is Jazzy.
Hey, what up, Jazzy? My bad.
What's up? It's all good. Does I sound like him?
You did in the very beginning. Now you don't. But I've been drinking a little bit, too.
Okay.
Jazzy Joe, my man, Hall of Famer, Brain Drain Hall of Famer. Word, man. It's awesome to have you on the horn.
Hey. Well, I feel like I'm calling like a superstar, bro. I was over here like, man, when do I press call? I don't know. Do I press it now so I let him stop talking? I don't know.
Dude, these phone lines are open for you all day, all night, bro. Where are you located right now?
Yeah, I hear that. I just went past Auburn. I actually passed a fairground. I guess they got the fair going on over here.
Word, yeah. We always got a fair going on. Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. I about stopped, drive through the gate. But
so
I'm headed to
you coming?
I'm headed to Atlanta.
Okay, you're going over that way. All right.
Yeah, got to drop this load off up here and then come back and go. I'm actually taking home time for a week down in Mobile.
Oh, word. That's when you're coming back through Montgomery tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be coming back through tomorrow.
We got to get up with you then, man.
Yeah, definitely. I got this decal. It's the same one that I got, the Bruce Pearl one. I had them have an extra one, so figured you'd want it.
Oh, hell yeah. I absolutely want it. I'm going to go elbow to elbow with you, bro.
Hey, I heard that. Anything I get next, I'll just order an extra one. You just pimp out your what is it? What did you say you got? What's the car you got?
I got a Camry Hybrid.
There you go.
Pimp
that out.
With truck nuts on the back. All right, so are you doing like lots of long haul trucking? Is that basically what you're doing?
Yeah, I was doing cross country because I've been with Prime for like 6 years, but I'm actually doing solo now. I just took the trainee off the truck. I'm just saying the hell with it. I'm gonna go solo, so I'll be around the area now.
Oh, word. Okay, so you're just gonna go southeast now?
No, I mean I'll still be everywhere, but I probably won't get much West Coast because that's normally for like team driving.
Oh, word. Okay.
So, which sucks because I'd rather be out there than anywhere in the Northeast.
Yeah. Well, tell me how you kind of got up with Auburn, Jazzy Joe. Like, how'd you become an Auburn guy?
Well, my whole family is an Alabama fan, all except for my one cousin who drove with me for about 3 years. So, actually, it's just simple. When I was in kindergarten, my good friend at the time was an Auburn fan. That's about it. It wasn't nothing else.
So what?
I could have been baptized in Auburn or something, but I ain't got no cool story like that.
You just kind of going against the grain, kind of?
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for him, Jesus Christ, God forbid, I'd have been maybe a Bama fan.
Man, I'm glad somebody got to you, bro.
That's terrible.
Hey,
Man, for real. Geez.
Tell me about what led you to get that Sinister Gates guitar, man.
I love Ben Sevenfold. Now, what's crazy is, like, I haven't been a fan of them. Well, I used to play a lot of Guitar Hero. That's actually where I started.
Word.
Wanting to get a guitar, because Guitar Hero, and they had the Beast and the Harlot song on there, and that's actually when I started getting into their music. But my biggest inspiration playing guitar is Slash. That was the first guitar I got. I got a Gibson Les Paul.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
Yeah, and then Sinister Gates, I looked him up, trying to see the band members of Avenged Sevenfold, looked him up and started watching a lot of videos on him and just who he was. And, man, I liked him too, so I had to get his guitar. And then I'm starting to get all on Stevie Ray Vaughan, which I've always liked Stevie.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why the Fender.
Yeah.
So anybody I like, I just try to get something of them.
His favorite guitar was called Number One for Stevie Ray Vaughan. Is that a Stratocaster or is that a Fender?
Yeah, it's a Fender Stratocaster.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had at that time they're called standards. Just until 2017, they stopped making the standards and now made the professional series.
Oh, word. Okay.
So you can't really get a standard anymore.
Stevie Ray was pretty freaking good, man. He was really good.
Man, let me tell you, I'll put him on in the truck and I'll lose about 2 hours. I don't know where I'm at. I should be driving. Like, I don't even know how I passed Louisiana. How'd that work?
He is a badass dude.
Yeah, buddy.
You got any questions for me? Because I've been here asking you questions. I don't know.
I don't know about questions, but I really appreciate what you do, bro. When I say, like, you the best sports writer, I'm trying to say for real because, like, I've always watched or listened to the rundown.
Yeah.
And, like, it's almost like I know y'all. Of course, I've never said anything in the brain drain or in the not the brain drain, the bunker. I've never really did anything with that. I always heard your shout outs. I was like, it'd be cool to get a shout out from him. But it's kind of like y'all like an upper level type thing. So I just be sitting back and listening to y'all, and I'm telling you, only complaint I have about them is y'all don't. It's too fast. Y'all need to go about an hour or two or something.
All right.
Because it'll be about to stop, and I'm like, man, come on, it's only like 30 minutes. They're like, we done enough. I was like, no, you didn't. We got to get some more of this.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Hey, if you say so, I'm gonna do it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, man, I love it, man. That helps me through my day, especially in football season. Y'all pump them out about every day.
Yeah.
Man, that's where I'll save it for the most tiring part of my shift because it'll be close to the end. I'll be getting all tired. Like, yep, I'm going to put on the rundown because I'll definitely wake up on that one.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that, bro.
Man, yeah, I appreciate what y'all do.
So I'm going to send you a DM tonight, and we'll get hooked up tomorrow in Montgomery when you're coming through, all right?
We'll do that. And also, when do y'all usually play Warzone? Because I'm on a lot, but I'm always playing with somebody. And, of course, I didn't know your name was Cordless Drill, so I was expecting like Jay Tate or something.
No. I sent you a couple invites, but we usually playing from like 7 to 10 on weekday nights.
Okay. Well, I'll be home this whole week or this whole coming up week. So I'll definitely be on.
All right. I'm going to set you some invites then, bro, all right?
You send them, and I'll remember Cordless Drill, and I'll just stop whatever I'm doing. I'll come up out of a match just to get in there.
Cordless Drill is definitely me, bro. All right.
All right.
Appreciate you, Jazzy, and thank you for all your super chats, man. You're an absolute beast, Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Oh, man, there's no worries, man. I appreciate y'all's content.
All right, man. See you, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah, we got Jazzy Joe on the phone, finally, man, after all these months. He's been an absolute beast. Hall of Fame, no doubt. First ballot. He's been a real good friend of the Brain Drain, and obviously he's been great with the super chats, but he's also been funny in the bunker and on here in the chats as well. So, dude's an absolute beast. We also got Daniel N in the house, who says that Stevie Ray hasn't putting out anything new in years. A little bit of that gallows humor, huh? Stevie Ray, of course, died in a helicopter crash. Maybe around 88, 89, something like that. Just in case somebody was like, well, I don't know, I don't get it. Hornacia says rundowns leave you with blue balls. That sounds like a personal problem, bro. We've also got Swoogan #1 in the house, Alpha Tiger. who announces his arrival as Sup Swoogans. He, of course, is allowed to call anybody he wants a Swoogan, and it can mean whatever he would like for it to mean, because I believe he is at the bottom of that phrase, that word anyway. Although it means different things to different people. We are now going to get on the horn with Mr. Jeffrey Lee, who is himself a beast. We said we would call him at 8. It's 8:30. That's my fault. We're going to talk to him about a couple recruits and just see what he's up to tonight. Come on, Jeffrey. Answer that phone, big boy. Uh-oh. 4 rings, guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Jeffrey. What's up, Big Daddy?
Hey, man. Sorry, let me cut this. I just started to load.
Wait, what?
I,
Wait, what?
I'm staying up late and doing laundry tonight. I just started to load.
Wow. That's big, dude.
That's what she said.
Hey, we just had Jazzy Joe on the horn. First time calling in.
I heard, man. I wish he would get into town. He could sit in on a rundown with us.
Oh, man, that would be the best, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
I think he's pretty much. He might be too big of a baller, though. Honestly, I think that guy's an absolute beast. I mean, I think he's probably moving too fast for us. What now?
Did you see his truck?
I've seen pictures of it. I've posted pictures of it on this very show.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah! Have you seen it? It's awesome.
Yeah, I saw it on the bunker.
Yeah, he's got like little decals for like all the great players that have played at Auburn because he's.
I was looking for my name. I didn't see it.
Sorry, man.
I wonder if he knows I'm the mature one of the group.
Is that true? I think it's B-Matt.
Really?
I think so. Although, yeah.
Really?
And he was wearing his mask like such a good boy at the Voodoo show. Jazzy Joe just jumped in the chat and said, "Say the word and I'm there." It's that simple.
Oh, really?
Let's do it. Let's do it Tuesday afternoon, Jazzy. We're gonna do our shows on Tuesday, usually on around 12:30 Central Time Zone.
Wouldn't that be fair? He pulled in there in his rig.
We'd have to get pictures of me and you and like maybe B-Matt on there. Be sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so things to ask you about. I want to ask you about Adonai Mitchell. Is that how we say that?
You know, that's how I went with, but I was corrected. It's Adonai.
Adonai Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell.
Wide receiver, committed to Ole Miss, but when I was reading your story, it said that he's been talking to Georgia and Auburn. Does that mean he's not talking to Ole Miss anymore?
Pretty much, yeah. He is publicly committed to Ole Miss still. Privately, he is on the verge of committing to Auburn or Georgia, and I've actually been doing some behind the scenes work on that. And you know, Georgia's got a lot of guys on their wide receiver board right now that I think they're higher on. Colsey, Burke, Worthy, Malcolm Johnson, guys like that. I think this guy's higher on Auburn's board than he is on Georgia's board. So, which leads me to believe, and even after talking to him, man, he went on and on about Auburn and his relationship with Cody Burns, and he hasn't visited. He was supposed to visit back in March, but the dead period, of course, kicked in, and but he's taking a virtual visit. He loved everything he saw. He's got great relationships with Cody, with Chad, and so it sounds to me like he could flip at any point. So I'm definitely on high alert with him, and that would be huge for Auburn. You know, they're looking for an outside guy. They're looking for a slot. We know they missed out on their first slot in Christian Leary, but this guy would pretty much be the first outside receiver guy on the board, or at least right now he is.
6'3",
it would be a
6'3", 180, 190.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like a burner to me, but that dude can challenge for some balls now. I mean, up high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot like Seth, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he does look a lot like Seth on tape. You're right.
You know, Seth is not going to beat anybody in a race. any DBs. You know, he's not going to outrun anybody. Speed is not his forte. Although he's not slow at by any means. I'm just
Right.
saying he's not a fast guy, wide receiver wise. And I think this kind of guy. I watched this film the other day after I spoke to him, and the high point in the ball, the jump balls, just how physical he is as a receiver, stuck out a lot more than than his speed.
Yeah, they'd like to have him and flip him away from Lane Kiffin. I'm sure that would hurt Ole Miss. Although we love our Ole Miss friends. We have a lot of Rebel Grove folks that watch our show, so we're not hating on Ole Miss. Also, Kamal Haddon.
Man.
I want to ask you about Kamal Haddon.
Yes.
Kid, interesting story. I mean, he plays for what, Eastern Michigan or Central Michigan initially?
He signed with
Signed
Central
with-
Michigan, failed to qualify, and went to Independence. And has been there, was there last year, had a really good year. He was just a 2-star coming out of high school, so wasn't really highly thought of. But he had a really solid year last year. A lot of guys have jumped on him. Wesley McGriff is recruiting him extremely hard. It's obvious that Auburn wants another junior college corner. You know, they're recruiting, I think, 3 or 4 fairly heavily. And Kamal Haddon being one, all 6'1", 6'2", got good range, and signed Marco Domio last year. Of course, he's still not on campus, but that was expected. He should be here in the coming weeks. But they're going to need some upper guys with experience over the next 2 years. So Kamal Haddon definitely being one of those guys, and very high on Auburn.
So interesting, man. You sign with that program out of high school, you go to JUCO, you ball out, and all of a sudden Auburn, Nebraska, UCF are all up on you. And it makes you think about the kids who are playing right now at Eastern Michigan, at Central Michigan, at Miami, Ohio,
Sure.
who could have been better. You know, I mean, who could play at Auburn, who could play at
Absolutely.
Georgia. It's weird.
I love junior college. I mean, that's speaking from experience too. You can sign with a low 4-year school, or you can go to junior college and try to parlay that into a Power 5 these days. And he's a great example of that.
That reminds me of the other day when you showed that box score. I think you went it was a box score from you all playing Pleasant Grove, which Minor won. Leadoff hitter, Mr. Jay Lee, and you were like 2 for 4 with 2 ribs. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I did things back then.
And you were doing that to kind of show up Hornatius, and you said bow to your sensei.
Well, it was so weird because last week when I was, or maybe it was on the rundown, and I said, you know, the 4 guys, the only good things, I was taking shots at Hornatius.
Yeah.
Elrod, Shane Carnes, and Richie, and Dave Lindrum was one of the only good things to come out of Pleasant Grove. And then last night, got a text from my buddy, and he said, Andy Elrod's son's playing with my son, and he sent me this. And it was the box score from that game. And I just thought, wow, that's what a coincidence. I was just ragging on this cat, this dork from Pleasant Grove, Hornaceuus,
yes.
Hornaceuus, yeah. That dude, I was just, ragging on him, and so it worked out perfectly. I mean, and he bragged about state championships and stuff, and, hey, they were a good 3A school, 4A school, whatever they were. But, they couldn't hang with the big dogs. We were up there playing Hoover, Mountain Brook, Vestavia, Pelham, Thompson. We were the big dogs. And, they were cute, solid, 4A, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
did you see where Mr. Hickory was? Was he a minor guy?
Yeah, I learned that. He said, I believe he was 2 years behind me. He was a sophomore in my senior year.
And he made me kind of sad because he said he knew Rusty Riley, who's somebody that you and I knew independently. Like, you were really good friends with him, and I covered him when he played for the minor league team in Montgomery, and he passed away, unfortunately. But it was cool to see that Mr. Hickory knew who he was, too. Yeah,
man. Rusty was, what was it, the Montgomery, it wasn't the Biscuits,
Wings.
it was the Wings.
Yeah.
The Wings, yeah. I actually came to a couple of games and watched him play. And then he went on to become the park director at Chocolaca up near Oxford Evanston. And after he passed, they actually named the main road going in there Rusty Riley Way.
No shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, real cool, man. He made a big, big impact up there. He touched a lot of people's lives, and special kid, man. And I think I've told you this before. For all those listening, Rusty died from mouth cancer, and it was real odd because growing up, Rusty was my next door neighbor, and so me and him were real tight. And, I smoked, I'd sneak off, smoke a cigarette and go over here and get me a dip and, sneak a chew from my dad. And Rusty never did any of that. He never drank, never smoked, never dipped. And then I guess after he got out playing baseball professionally is when he kind of picked that up. And man, it didn't take long, before they were removing his tongue, and then he was bedridden there towards the end. So it was real sad, man. He left a couple of children and a beautiful wife, but
yeah,
he definitely made an impact while he was here.
He appreciates you saying that, I'm sure, because he denounced his tobacco use at the end,
Right. Oh, of course. Yeah. And mom and dad, real good people too, man. It was a sad day.
Well, Jeffrey Lee, we did have a question for you from Alpha Tiger. He wanted to know, what is your favorite type of trash can to be thrown into and why?
You got to like those, the Rubbermaids. They're a lot softer. They give a little bit more than like those Oscar the Grouch tin cans.
Yeah.
Those things hurt, son. You go bass backwards into that thing, man. You might not get back out. Those Rubbermaids kind of give. You can roll over and scooch out of them. Well, you're gonna have some help getting out of those metal cans.
Yeah, it's tough. You're gonna have to get somebody to kind of help you squish those things together. Hey, Jazzy Joe also says he wants to hit the bomb at Voodoo, so you better be ready.
Hit the bong.
Bomb. He wants some of those hot wings, bro.
Oh shit! I don't know, man. I mean, I'll video him, but
I know who won't.
My asterisk.
You say your ass won't take it, will it?
My asterisk back there, it told me I could not have any more bomb.
Jeffrey Lee, you're an absolute beast, brother, and I will we'll see you on Tuesday with Jazzy Joe. All right.
That sounds great, dude.
All right, you behave yourself.
All right, man. Tell the girls to say hello.
See you, bro. Thank you.
All right.
There he is, Jeffrey Lee, absolute beast. Best recruiting writer in the world, in my opinion. Doesn't give you too much. I think that's one of the things in recruiting. You can get too much information. Hope we got a good answer there to your question, Alpha Tiger. So he likes those Rubbermaids better than the Oscar the Grouch cans. Oh, I'm so glad we got Rusty Riley's name on the show, too. Guy he grew up with, really good friends with Rusty Riley, and then I covered him when he was a first baseman, the slugger for the Montgomery Wings back in 2001, 2002, something like that. And I knew him as he always had something in his mouth, whether it was a dip or a plug. It was kind of the thing for him. And then he died of cancer that was associated with his tongue or his throat. Really weird because he wasn't that old. Probably 35. But anyway, rest in peace, Rusty. Good, really, really good dude. Jazzy Joe is saying that he's going to be eating the bomb at Voodoo on Tuesday, which is a very hot. That ain't like a low-end bomb. That's a hot wing. Of the usual people, obviously, Nate will not eat it. Brian Matthews will not eat it. I will eat it. And Jeffrey Lee can be talked into it, but he doesn't like it. So, that's the situation, Jazzy Joe. But I'll definitely hit one or two with you. It's too hot for me to enjoy, but I will eat it. Forrest B says, how much of a shot do you think we have with Jabari Smith, 5-star 2021 small forward? I wish you'd asked me that when we had Jay Lee on the horn. To me, I don't know. I have to defer to Jeffrey on that. So we'll see if we can get an answer on that one. In fact, I will text Jeffrey right now and see if I can get an answer on that. I can just relay to you guys. Give me a second, sir. All right, I texted him. We'll see see if he gets back with me on that. Call Me Biscuits is where you at, Jazzy Joe. I think he said he was in Auburn or Opelika tonight and then headed up to Atlanta and then back down toward Mobile is what he was saying. I don't know where he's at just the moment. Oh, he said he's just past Auburn. I think he's going north. Night Riders in the house is drinking Miller Lite, licking my wounds from my ass whooping on the golf course. Should I swap the Blantons or Black Box Cabernet? AU Storm 20 says Blanton's. I don't know if you would be able to enjoy Blanton's at this point, depending on how many Miller Lights you've had. But Blanton's is pretty damn good. We got a super chat coming through from our man Ravin P. Ravin is here pretty much every single week, and when he's not, he even says, I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it, et cetera, et cetera. So we consider him one of the absolute beasts of the show. Thank you very much for your super chat, sir. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Tater?
Word, who I got?
Our guest.
What up, man?
Alpha Tiger.
What now?
It's Alpha Tiger.
Hey, what up, bro? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I've been taking a couple weeks hiatus from the show. But,
Disappoints me. Why would you do that? It hurts.
A little bit busier. Have a weighty friend in the life that required a little bit more of my time than usual.
Oh,
so.
word. Were you satisfied with your answer about the trash can, sir?
That was a very sufficient answer.
He would know.
You never know what kind of predicament you might find yourself in if somebody was going to throw you in a trash can and they give you the option as to what type of trash can to throw you into. You got to have some options there. So
on the bunker, Alpha, you are you're not a troublemaker, but you do like to run your mouth a little bit. Are you like that in real life?
Sometimes depends on who I'm interacting with, or I guess what the issue is.
Okay, that's a satisfactory answer, sir. What do you think about Jazzy Joe calling in? He made his brain drain debut tonight, and I think we're all pretty freaking fired up about it.
I actually only caught about the last 3 minutes of it.
Sucks. Sounds
about as quality of a person as he portrays himself in the chat. So I'd say it certainly wasn't a letdown, but I'd have to go back and listen to the whole thing.
All right. But the guy's the guy has huge nuts, and he's just been dragging them all over our heads for the last 2 or 3 months because he's got this big ass rig, right? I drive a freaking Camry hybrid, and he drives a rig,
Yeah, I mean, it makes me feel like my Silverado is, like a Prius.
That reminds me of that movie with Mark Wahlberg and goddamn it, the other guys. Yeah, and he was like,
the other guys.
Yeah. That guy's like, dude, my truck just shit out a car like that this morning. He's talking about his Prius.
And Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
With the recent spike, you think we're going to have a football season with the recent spike going on, everybody losing their shit again?
Yeah, I'm concerned, man. I mean, there's so much money on the table, as we've talked about ad nauseum, but with this spike in cases, I just feel like they're going to try to say that's a really big deal, and it's going to affect things. And
also with all the, I guess, the civil unrest right now, with all the, the racial issues going on. I won't say one way or the other. But I think that you get these players that, they're not getting paid. So kind of like what's their incentive to, I guess, essentially put themselves at risk when they're not the ones, reaping the benefits of all that revenue and money that the schools make. So that kind of has me concerned a little bit.
My pug has a question for you, Alpha.
Your pug? Okay. What does your cat have to ask me?
No, it's my pug, Maverick. He likes you. He thinks you're one of the smartest posters on the bunker.
Cats, but
He thinks you're one of the smartest posters on the bunker.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's his question?
His question is, do you feel like you have the largest hog on the entire bunker?
I would say probably not.
But top 5 though, right?
I'm certainly satisfied with where it sits at, but there's always room for improvement.
I hope it sits at the same place that all of ours do, honestly, just for your sake. Yeah, also, I'm with you on the COVID thing, but I just don't want to talk about it too much, even though I brought it up. No, you brought it up, but it doesn't really matter. I just hope that they play football because, dude, my business depends on it.
Ready to get some sports back going. I'd rather, riff on Gus for 20 minutes than, try to find meaningless topics to converse about.
I don't know. It's kind of tricky on the bunker because I don't like politics very much, but I try to give some leeway because, what else we got going on right now? Not much. So
Well, that's fair, and I try not to push your buttons, but I'm sure there's shit that I posted in the last couple of weeks that was kind of were borderline at best.
Yeah, I feel like I pretty much get you, man. I feel like so a few years ago I thought you pushed a little too hard, but now I don't know, for whatever reason I think you're just pushing just enough. You know, it's a little more than you have to, but you're not being a total dickbag to people, and I like that. I think you're good. I think you do good work.
I try not to run your posters off.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I think you've made some people mad in the past, but I don't necessarily feel that way now. I don't know. You just
fair enough.
You raise hell, but you're not like being hateful, so that's good. We got other people to do that.
Yeah, I actually thought about the brain drain tonight because I'm at the same beach I was last year when you banned me, and we got into it in DMs. So kind of had some good memories back then.
Good memories, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was over NBA thread about calling owners masters.
Yeah,
not governors, not masters.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, all right.
But anyways, good times.
We're good now. We're good now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so is Alabama still seeing a lot of effects from COVID?
I don't know about effects, but we have a lot of cases in Montgomery. I mean, for a little town like we have, we should not be having like 100 new cases per day. I mean, it's ridiculous. I live in like a village, basically. I mean, there shouldn't be anybody having it.
Why do you think Mobile's seen it so much worse than other areas, or Montgomery seen it so much worse than other areas?
My guess is that, certain groups of people just like to hang out with their family more than others, and then when they get in big groups with their family, then they pass it along. I mean, I don't have a big family. It's just me and my wife and my daughter and my mom. That's it. So at most it's 4 people. But if you have a huge family, I mean, it's like 30 people. And then you're going to start spreading it,
So I guess your daughter's supposed to be going off to college this fall. Like, what's the status? Is she supposed to be going off to school, like moving to, was it Mobile, South Alabama, or is it moved more towards online? She'll be at home? Or?
No, she's going, man. She's going August 9th, which is actually our anniversary. She's going to be moving into college. So it's kind of everything's coming full circle. But her roommate's actually coming here to stay the night next weekend. So that's going to be pretty cool to see them kind of get together and meet each other and hang out a little bit. And then they're going to do some of that. But all the freaking orientation stuff is online, dude. Can you imagine doing orientation online? Sucks, dude.
Well, I mean, it's confusing enough as it is going to, South Alabama's growing a lot, so it's a bigger campus, and trying to figure out where the hell you're going. Like, orientation is just going to help you figure that all out, but doing it online, you're essentially going to be the same place you were if you didn't have orientation, just kind of stock lost, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Call Me Biscuit put in a super chat that says, "Miss you, Alpha. Your new gal is better than the bunker."
She's not too bad, but it remains to be seen if she's better than the bunker. The bunker is going to be there for a while, so
yeah, I'd say so.
You can't guarantee that with a lady friend, so I guess that remains to be seen.
My lady friend's been with me almost 30 years, so I can almost guarantee it with her. But I understand you're in a different position.
And that's actually kind of an interesting thing. August 9th, you dropped your daughter off at college, and, that's going to be kind of a sad moment. But, at least then you'll have a quiet evening to spend with the administrative assistant, catching up on other things.
It's like on one hand, dude, I'm sad that my only kid's going to be going to college. But on the other hand, I'm like, I'm pretty fired up about it, too, because I don't have to worry about her ass anymore. Like, I can just kind of, me and wifey can hang out and party,
Oh, I know my folks moved literally the day I graduated high school, so I know they were definitely looking forward to having an empty house.
Word. That seems pretty obvious to what's going on there, right? They're like, I'm out.
Yeah, there was no going back home when you went. They moved like 2.5 hours away, so you come home for like Christmas break, you like go see your friends, like so they don't live here, so.
Oh well.
But, yeah. So sorry about. I saw you posted earlier. Your European vacation, I guess, got canceled.
Yeah, it did. I was supposed to be in Holland right now, seeing all the dikes. Because I'm really into that stuff. Holland's basically underwater, and so they have a series of dikes to keep things from flooding, and I was very interested in seeing all that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll get there in the next couple of years. But
yeah, I hope
who
so.
knows?
Hope so.
We'll see how the bunker and how Auburn Sports keeps doing. So hopefully it'll stay strong for you.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. But if there's no football, who knows what's going to happen? But I know I can count on you, Alpha Tiger, to stay around, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Well, I'll let you run. I'm sure you have better callers than me to entertain tonight. So.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, brother.
And...
You do good shit, bro.
All right, have a good one.
See you, Alpha. Bye. There he is, Alpha Tiger. Another beast. Funny poster. Likes to raise hell, but not so much that he's like trying to make everybody angry. I was talking about something before we went, but I don't remember what it was. I know I was talking about Christian Tutt at one point, but that was a while ago. Also, Call Me Biscuit had a back-to-back super chats. I mentioned the one that indicated he was telling something to Alpha Tiger. This one says, "What did you bet, Horn, when you lost the state championship?" To which Horn said, "I wasn't on the team." Shocked. We're all shocked. Hornatius. You want to talk that big nonsense, and you weren't even on the team. Unbelievable. Ruxpin says, "Just start the season on November 4th. Biscuit also says that Alpha is killing it in the laid category. I think we're going to need a picture on that. I mean, if Alpha Tiger's new girl is so hot, I think we should all be able to judge that. Let's see. Gavin L. says, "JG, I'm headed to Louisville, Kentucky for the first time ever next weekend." Fun town. Fun town. Do you have any suggestions on what we should do? Here's the problem, dude. So COVID's got, what's open and what's not open. Under normal circumstances, you've got a lot of really good bourbon spots to hit. Michter's, Old Forester, Angel's Envy, all in downtown Louisville. Also the Louisville Slugger Museum, which sounds lame, but it's actually really cool. But I don't know if those places are open or not. But there's some awesome places to eat there, some awesome things to see. Like Churchill Downs is running right now, or normally would be. I don't know if they're actually running right now or not, but I mean, you can't get in there. So it's tough for me right now to tell you what to do. But I'll tell you this, it's a badass town, and there's a lot of cool shit going on over there. Wish I could come hang out every now and then. My mom's gone from there now. Obviously, my sister passed away. She lived in Louisville. My wife's, her whole family's from Louisville, and they all died, so we don't have anybody there anymore. I miss it. I miss it a lot, just because when we were in college, my wife lived in Louisville. She's from Louisville, and so I would drive to Louisville from Lexington, I would stay there during the summer, and we kind of like dated every Friday and Saturday. I should say Saturday and Sunday in Louisville. We went to the track, and we would go out to eat, and we would just kind of dick around as kids from college would do, and a lot of great memories, man. Just hanging out with her and just kind of solidifying our relationship, I guess you could say. Let's see. Leif says Churchill Downs ran today with no fans, so they are open and running. That's great. I did see that they mentioned that the Kentucky Derby, which is run in September, does that sound right? Is going to run with limited fans in the stands. There are people who will be able to go, which is pretty cool. Ed D says, "I wish movie theaters were open." Yeah, me too, dude. I love watching films. Saw some good stuff this week. I don't think I mentioned to you guys. I saw Rocket Man not too long ago, which is the biopic about Elton John. I happen to like Elton John quite a bit. A lot of that's because my mom loved him and had his records. She would play them all the time in the 70s and 80s. So I kind of grew up with that music. And even though I'm not, you think, here's a story about Elton John's life. You're like, who gives a shit? But it's really well done. Like it's not just some boring ass, oh, Elton John played a concert. Oh, Elton John met somebody. Like it's just a lot more interesting than that. So if you guys like Bohemian Rhapsody, you'll probably like Rocket Man. I also watched the documentary called Athlete A last night, which is about the USA Gymnastics scandal that went down. And Larry Nassar, who was the head like trainer, I guess, for USA Gymnastics, also at Michigan State. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I literally cried at the end of that. There's not really a spoiler alert because it's all based on what happened in real life, but I didn't realize that Larry Nassar had done that to so many people. Not that if you do it once, that's too many, but we're talking hundreds of girls who at the time were anywhere between the ages of 10 and 18. I don't want to get into what he was doing. If you guys are interested, you can watch Athlete A, but it's repugnant what he did. And obviously what he did is bad, but there were the people that were covering for him, including Bella Caroli and his wife Marta Caroli. Like, I always thought they were like the best thing. Like, here's these people from Romania and they defected and they came to America and they brought American gymnastics up from where it was kind of mediocre when they got here, and then they turned it into like, gold medal type organization. And I thought a lot of them. And then when I come to find out they're harboring a pedophile, oh God, and the CEO or the president or whatever of USA Gymnastics, God bless. Horrible. So if you guys want to see that, it was really, really good. Pocket Watch says, I finally watched Waco. Looking forward to reading a couple or 3 books it was based off of. I definitely saw a Waco. I think it was called Waco. Was it like maybe an 8-part miniseries is what I watched, which included Ruth from Ozark was in it. I was really interested in that because Waco went down when I was 20 or 21 years old. I saw it on TV, but I didn't really give a shit. And to come to find out kind of how it was going down kind of pissed me off because it didn't seem like they were doing anything. Although the show that I saw, the Waco that I saw, was written from the perspective, well, it was written by the interrogator's perspective, who was trying to be neutral, I don't think David Koresh, although he was a kook, I don't think he was dangerous. Or it doesn't seem like he was. If he just wants to be some yahoo living out there, he may have been dabbling in guns a little bit. But even there, I'm not sure it was super illegal. I don't know why they got such a big boner for that. But they did. Anyway. Let's see. Corey says, watch the Jeffrey Epstein doc on Netflix this past week. Dude was a horrible person. Yes. Administrative assistant watched that one and said he was definitely, like you said, a creep, and said that Prince Andrew's a creep too. Apparently he was like the most obvious person involved in that. That's terrible. Corey Weber says, was Rocket Man as good as the Queen movie? So they're similar, actually. I think what I read was the director of the Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, I think he quit at some point later in the process, like the movie was half done or 3/4 done or whatever. And they had to hire somebody to finish it. And the dude who finished it is the dude who did Rocket Man. So there are some similarities between the two films. But to me, and I like both of them, I think both lead actors, Remy and then the dude Brian Egerton, who played in the Elton John, both of them won Golden Globes, I think, for their performance. So we're talking about high-level acting in both cases. I thought Rocket Man was better. It has more of a musical feel to it. Like, there's some, like, numbers, kind of, like dance numbers, kind of impromptu. You just kind of have to see it to know what I'm talking about. But I think anyway, like that one. Canoe Man says the series Waco was interesting. Not sure how accurate it was, as it would seem slanted. However, it was intriguing. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. Like, I felt like it was kind of written in a way where it was maybe giving Koresh more leeway than some people would give him, maybe. But I'm not taking sides on that one because I just don't know enough about it. I'm not sure I care enough about it. Taxman says the musical aspect of Rocket Man was unexpected and a bit off-putting to me. Interesting. Like, if you remember Taxman, because you've seen it, so the Crocodile Rock thing at the Troubadour, like, I thought that was really cool. But there were some of the other ones, like some of the other ones, they didn't do much for me. But that's cool, I will admit, though, I cried on that one because there was a very specific, I don't want to give away any spoilers. It was something that happened at the end of that movie that kind of happens in my own life. Like when I roll down the road, sometimes I actually talk to nobody. I pretend like I'm having a conversation. I go to Auburn a lot, not necessarily as much right now, but I mean, we're talking about. I've been covering Auburn for 22 years now, so I've driven up down that road a lot, and I'll kind of have conversations. It sounds weird to say it, but I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I have conversations with people that I want to have conversations with, but I don't for whatever reason, and so in that film, that kind of happens at the end of the film in a way, and it just reminded me of some of the things that I've thought and done, said. It's weird. NAAU fan says he's heard Yesterday was a good one. I have not heard of that one, but I'm going to take a look at that one. I'll write that down. I have an idea what that one's about. It's about a group that like plays, or somebody's like infatuated with that song or something. I feel like I've seen that. Alpha Tiger says he's headed to the pool. Peace out, Swoogans. Alpha, appreciate you calling in, brother, and also being part of the chat and just for being here in general. Doing a hell of a job. Let's see, AU Taxman brought up something here that really intrigued me. He says, call me Biscuit, Kentucky Owl confiscated. Now what? I'm trying to figure out what that was about. I actually saw some Kentucky Owl, not confiscated, but the Kentucky Owl Batch 3 in the wild on Friday or Thursday? Thursday. I could not believe it. I got an alert from my friend Chris H. to let me know there was some very good shit at the East Chase ABC. And so I hustled over there, and I was able to get my hands on some bourbons. I don't want to cheat on my Wathans here that I've had. Thank you, Leif. But I was able to get some John J. Bowman port barrel finish, which I really enjoy. My wife really, really likes it. And I also got a bottle of Eagle Rare, which is tough to find, although not expensive. It's just tough to find. And they had Kentucky Owl Batch 3 there at a retail price of $150, which is a little high, I thought. It's not for me. They also had Buffalo Trace, Blanton's. They had Johnny Drum, which you don't see a whole lot of. They had Kentucky Vintage, which you don't see a whole lot of. They had the Old Bardstown, not bottle and bond, but the regular one that's like tan. And then they had the Willet. I don't even know what you call that. Just like the Willet family version. It's like a rye with like the purple and green coat of arms on the front. And they had, of course, the like the regular Willet. Like the big bottles that look like that. The pot stills, which is I have one right over here. It's about gone, but a Willet pot still. It's like, JG, god dang, man, you got bourbon all over the place. Yeah, drink a little bit, guys. Hate to tell you. See, Canoe Man, still talking about Rocket Man, was concerned when the musical part of the beginning, thought the entire movie was going to be like that. Fortunately, it was just sprinkled in the movie and not that way the whole way. That's exactly right. It's not a musical at all. It just has some musical interludes, which generally is off-putting to me, but I don't know. I enjoyed that one. Interesting. Yesterday intrigues me. Let's see. Oh, George M. says, I'm tipping some Willet Special Reserve. That must be what I'm talking about with the purple and green coat of arms on it. I had some of that at the Willet Distillery, and to me, that tasted a lot like the pot still. So to me, I just wasn't really taken with it. I mean, it just seemed like the regular to me. Leif B says Kentucky Owl's about $150 a bottle there, so that's good. Wasn't getting ripped off, but I just wasn't going to buy that. Willet Family Estate Rye. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's that green and purple one. The problem is that I'm not a huge rye guy. I'm not. That's not to say rye is good or bad. It's just that my palate doesn't necessarily enjoy it. But to me, like the pot still Willet, to me is a very mild rye. And then the other Willet stuff, the Estate Rye and specifically Johnny Drum, to me is very rye. So I probably don't like Johnny Drum as much as some. EU Taxman says the Kentucky Owl Confiscated is a broader release they started doing last year. It's excellent, but the price at $125 is a bit much. So answer me this, bro. I was at a big box retailer in Lexington last summer, and I was asking the manager about what he had, okay, and he took me to their like high dollar layout spread, whatever it was. And I mean, there was some shit in there that I was intrigued with. I mean, some of that Peerless, the hard to find Peerless. They had one of the old Fitzgeralds with the big tall top, and it's like green and blue, or I'm sorry, green and red, which I didn't want to pay for it. And he said, "Well, I've got a Kentucky Owl," and I was like, I mean, I'd heard of that, but I wasn't interested in it. I was like, just out of curiosity, what are you charging for that? He said, $300. So what Kentucky Owl product would be $300? Because the stuff like I saw was $150. The stuff you're talking about, the confiscated, is like $125. So what the hell would be $300? I mean, I told him no right off because I wasn't going to pay $300 for a freaking bottle, but it's just not me. But yeah. Let's see, War Eagle 0008, who called in earlier, says, Jay, best everyday bourbon in my opinion. Live in Texas, and my favorite is Garrison's Brothers. I don't know that one. I've never heard of it. Best everyday bourbon for me? Shit, I don't really have an everyday. Probably Elijah Craig's Small Batch is delicious at a reasonable price point. Russell's Reserve, if you can find it, is generally not too expensive. It's in the 30s, 30-ish. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's like it's got a burgundy color label on it. It's a Wild Turkey product, but Wild Turkey's got they're good. I mean, you get the rare breed and the Russells. That shit is good, man. When I was a kid, like Wild Turkey was, I wouldn't say bottom of the barrel, but I mean, it wasn't something you'd be stoked about having. But nowadays, Late B says JG was at Liquor Barn. I wasn't, dude. That's actually where I found out about Magnus. I did a taste test. You know, in Kentucky, you can have. I got the manager, and he did a little taste test for us, and he set us up with like maybe 8 bourbons, maybe. And we get to take like, you know, a 1 ounce sip of all of them. He charged us like $10 or $20 or whatever. I thought it was fine. And so my administrative assistant and I, we each drank it, and then whichever one we thought was the best, we were going to buy it. And she bought some stuff that was just ass. I'm so glad it's gone. I refused to drink it. It tastes like butthole. And then I got the Magnus, which is delicious. And my guy Justin Owens, who is the main man at the Tipping Point here in Hampstead in East Montgomery, a great place you should go and hang out if you want to. I enjoy it myself. He has Magnus up there now that you can get like a shot of it. It's a little more available now. It was not available in Alabama at the time when I got it, which was 3 years ago. But I love Magnus. It's my favorite bourbon, straight up. I mean, it's the best. It costs about $100 a bottle, and I'm not trying to lamp. I don't drink a lot of it. But if you ever see it, I think Bland's is worth a pour if you can get a hold of that. We got a super chat coming through from Webb M., one of our favorite East Coasters and a Rebel Groves. He's actually a Rebel Groves guy, but he does dabble in Brain Drain at times, and of course we love him for that. Says, JG, love the show. Could you give your thoughts on Coach Tubb and him getting into public office in the future? Could you please do a call-in show for G-Pits? So would be worth it and become the most popular show ever. Webb. I don't see why we can't do that. Actually, I think that's a good idea. I just got to figure out how to do the 2 video streams and not have it lag. But I know Neil's good for it. He just doesn't know how to do it, really, on his end. Although they do it for the OEP, right? But I'm sure Chance the Yapper's the one running that shit. George M. says, no Kentucky Owl is worth more than 80. That's about where I'm thinking, man. You're probably not going to find it for 80, but I'm probably not going to drink it either. Canoe Man says, Buffalo Trace is tough to beat for every day. I agree completely. If you could find Buffalo Trace every day, I think you'd be good there. Personally, myself, I would prefer Eagle Rare over Buffalo Trace. They're both about the same price, and they're both about the same scarcity. But I think that's just a personal preference thing. I think they're both winners. Elijah Craig is always available at my ABC, the small batch, and so I would think that's a good pour. The 1792 small batch is good too, in that same price range. Evan Williams single barrel is a little less expensive. I think that's around $20 a bottle, And that's pretty damn good, honestly, in that price range. I forgot whose question we were even answering on that. Knight Rider says, can't find a bottle for less than 30 in this world better than Buffalo Trace. Hell, not one better that's less than 50. See, so for me, I think Eagle Rare is a little bit better than Buffalo Trace, but that just comes down to taste. They're both about the same price, and they're both Buffalo Trace products. So I mean, you can't go wrong on those. Call Me Biscuit says, I've been donating to a computer for 6 months. My man, I actually had ordered one, and then I canceled the order because I thought new ones were coming out, and the new ones didn't come out, so now I just need to go get one. We're going to do a call-in show. I think that's a great idea, Webb, and thank you for that idea. I mean, we need to do this. Of course, Leif B is another one of our friends from Rebel Grove, too, so glad to see them together. I was hoping Avery would be on the show as well. Avery comes over, another one of the folks, Avery F., a Rebel Grove member. Probably a superstar over there, I would reckon, because her and her husband Neil are friends with Neil McCready. That's where I met her when I was at dinner over at the McCready's house. Webb says, JG, if you come for the Auburn Ole Miss game, I'll give you a jar of my kinfolk stuff from Cruzo. It'll make a man out of you. That's not your mother. That's a man, baby. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's happening, JG?
Hey, what up, D-Lucky? How you been?
I'm good, man. You?
Just kind of hanging out, talking about bourbons and films and shit like that.
I was enjoying the bourbon talk.
That's kind of
got a little Eagle Rare in my glass right now.
Dude, I love Eagle Rare. I think it's the best bourbon. If you take price into account, it's far and away the best bourbon. It's delicious.
I just started drinking it, bourbon, probably in the last year. So I've got a few that friends have gifted me and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really I enjoy reading the chats and getting other names and stuff. And I don't have any special bottles or anything like that, but it's a nice new hobby.
Can you find that stuff up where you are?
No, Archie buys it all before anybody can get it.
Is he your man? Is he your supplier?
No, he's not. No,
he just happens to be in your area.
He's in my area, and if there's an ABC store that's got any special bottles, he's of course gotten them before anybody knows that they're even there. So,
actually,
more power to him.
I sent Archie an email or a direct message the other day because I know he's a gun nut, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't put it that way. He's a gun enthusiast. I didn't mean he was crazy. I just meant he's really into it, and I was looking for some guidance on like a handgun. And boy, he had a lot of it for me. So he's definitely a guy I trust. Bourbon and guns, I trust Archie wholly.
Bourbon, guns, and basketball.
Yeah, he does know his basketball
Archie,
too.
Yeah, he's an expert on those three.
Absolutely. So there's an expert on the bunker for everything. There really is.
Yeah, there is. I tell people that all the time. Somebody will ask me something, I'll be like, I don't know, but I know where I can go to find out. Give me 20 minutes. I'll come back with an answer for you.
Well, anything?
It's a great resource.
Anything gone on since the last time we talked to you last weekend? I know sports-wise, there ain't much going on. So.
No, nothing sports-wise. I attended a virtual bat mitzvah today. That was interesting.
Wow, I've not heard of that.
Yes, it was my first virtual or in person, and it was a very interesting event. Just reaffirmed the fact that how little I know in the world. It was just it was really, really enjoyable.
Did you say Mazel Tov?
I got to participate.
Is that something that you
I
say?
did. It is. I actually had to look that up. I've heard it before, but didn't really know what it meant. It's translated into good luck or congratulations, either or. And it is acceptable for non-Jews to say. So I absolutely gave him Mazel Tov. So
yes,
it was like I said, it was good.
It's good stuff. You got to do different stuff in your life. You know what I mean? That's good.
Absolutely, man. Always open to new experiences.
Word.
On the football and Auburn-related stuff, Ed D asked a question earlier tonight about the wide receivers.
Yes, sir.
That was really intriguing to me and something I've been considering as well. Chad's impact on Williams and Schwartz. what do you think it's going to be?
Oh, yeah, hell, I thought he was talking about DJ. Seth Williams and Flash.
I assumed it was a wide receiver impact.
I don't think he's going to hurt him. I mean, Seth, I think Jeffrey Lee touched on it a little bit earlier. Seth's not going to outrun people, but he's going to be a great challenger of the football downfield. And then you got Schwartz, who's probably the fastest dude in college football. I mean, those are great weapons, and I definitely think he's going to accentuate them. I don't know as though it's going to really affect their numbers too much because both those guys were, primetime players anyway, right?
They were. It amazed me how little they were on the field at the same time, though. And just to have them both as weapons and to not utilize them more, in my opinion, was one of the travesties of the season. There were just too many times where one of the two of them was on the sidelines, and I think you just put way more pressure on the defense when you can line them both up. Hell, put them both on the same side. I mean, you force them to leave somebody wide open on the backside because they can't. They're gonna have to double one of the two of them.
Well, we like to have Sal out there. He's pretty good.
Yeah. So with Sal and Wee Willie gone. So who do you think? I'm assuming Eli makes it out. Who's the fourth wide receiver this year?
Oh shit, I don't know. I haven't put enough thought into it. Is it going to be one of the freshmen like Kobe Hudson?
That's what I'm leaning for. I think Kobe's going to be the new man in the mix, and I'm excited about that possibility. Just a little bit that I've seen of him.
Yeah,
I think
he has that home run ability after the catch, I think, where the other guys don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Schwartz does, obviously. But.
Exactly. Schwartz does, yeah. Schwartz, but that's a perfect example. I don't, why we won't line up in a 4 wide every once in a while, and again, make the defense decide which one of these guys are you going to leave, 1-on-1, and make them pay,
and let him beat your ass. Yeah.
Yeah, all game long. So hopefully that happens. I am worried about the season though now, JJ. Not to change the subject. But.
Is that independent of stuff we've been talking about on the bunker? Is this stuff that's just coming to your head?
Combination of stuff that's in the bunker and just what I've seen. It's just there are some people who are just walking around as if there's nothing going on, and that trickle down effect is just not looking good. It's just I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. As big of a football state as this is, and as much potential jeopardy as not wearing a mask could put us in, I don't get why people just aren't cautious just for the sake of football. Politics be damned, but can we all just put on some masks so we can have kickoff in August?
The answer is no. Yeah, the answer is no.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
We don't want to be told what to do.
That's what I've seen. That's why I'm worried. Exactly. That's why I'm concerned. I'm not as enthused as I was 2 weeks ago with the numbers going the directions that they are.
That's the thing. And the optics are big for these university presidents. And so they're going to,
without a doubt,
and they're the ones that are going to make this call. And I know how they think. And if they see big numbers, just in case loads, they're going to be like, we can't put our kids into this kind of risk,
Exactly. And the trend is timed really poorly because, if it was trending up, right before kickoff, then maybe you can kind of push through. But we can't get, we can't have an increasing number of folks in July, continuous trend of increasing, and then, say that we're going to start practice up. Yeah. I don't see that happening.
I noticed that, first of all, Media Days has just kind of been, we'll tell you when that's going to happen later. I mean, we don't really know the dates of it right now. It's going to be all virtual. And then the commish, Greg Sankey, says he's going to make a decision on football probably in a couple weeks. So I guess it's a causal relationship there. They're going to make a decision about football, and then maybe they'll do Media Days if they need it. That concerns me that they haven't fully committed to a Media Day yet. They would have if they thought they were going to have a season.
Absolutely, and I feel like we have rhythm method ourselves into a surprise when we had plenty of latex options that would prevented us from being in this predicament. It is amazing that we are at the spot.
D-Lock, he's part of the Rhythm Nation, I see. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Big Janet Jackson fan.
Canoe Man says, please ask D Lucky if he has any thoughts on the D.C. area sports scene. I don't understand that. What does that mean?
Another Tony Kornheiser reference.
That's what you guys, when you guys are talking about, what's the phrase y'all use?
La Cheeserie.
Yes, that's it. That's it. So it's a Kornheiser thing?
It is. It is.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Randomly, I started in the bunker right about the time I started listening to Kornheiser. So it's been 20-plus years that I've been listening to that guy and being on the bunker.
He's pretty good, right?
Love him. Absolutely love him. Just he does a great job of mixing in sports, pop culture, not a lot of politics, a little bit of politics, and just has a pretty sensible approach to life. So I enjoy it. I enjoy him. I enjoy reading him before. So
yeah, he's a Hall of Fame writer, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So that was an easy transition.
Call Me Biscuit is on your side completely. He says it's such bullshit. People not wearing a mask as a statement. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's got their own politics, and you got to do what makes you happy and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, but just this one seems like, again, this state, I would have expected to be the exception. I would have expected with the Saban infomercial or PSA, there just would have been enough people who cared enough about football to be like, you know what, I'm going to just go ahead and do this just because. And maybe I won't wear it when I get in the stadium when we kick off, but until then, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we get to the football season safely.
And that hasn't happened maybe as much as I would have liked.
No.
But for the record, I'm a mask wearer, and so is administrative assistant. So we're doing what we can.
Well, that's good to hear. We are doing the same. So,
word.
Hey, maybe we'll be wrong. I would be never happier to be wrong, and for some positive stuff to turn up in the next few weeks, and us to be right where we want to be when the fall comes. But yeah.
I also would like to commend you for your contributions into some of our social threads. Threads about some of the racial inequity issues and some of the demonstration threads that you've been very nice in trying to explain some things to folks. And some people have been open to it and some people haven't, and that's their right. But you've been very patient and very cool about addressing some of that stuff, and it's appreciated, brother.
Well, I thank you for that. It's like I've said to you before, I just want to give folks another set of eyes, another opinion, another perspective. Hopefully people take that with the intent that it's given. I just know that, again, as I've said on here probably 1,000 times, experiences are different for everybody. And, stats and books and whatever else can frame how you see about stuff. But when someone's lived it, it's completely different. And just being able to listen to how it's affected them or their families or, their day-to-day life, I think might get people to just think twice about how they look at situations. And I'm just trying to do that, give folks somebody access to somebody in case they don't have someone in their lives today that they want to, bounce stuff around that might have had a little bit different experience in life.
We've had some good conversations and some that were not so good, but it's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, as long as everybody keeps talking, we still got another shot to get it right.
D Lucky, you're a badass, and we're so grateful that you started calling us like 2 or 3 months ago. I hope this continues.
Absolutely, man. Y'all stay safe.
All right, D Lucky. Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Yeah, man.
There he goes. D Lucky, an absolute badass, as mentioned earlier in the show. He's been on the bunker for a minute, but he just started calling in maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, an important member. Somebody who posts something, and I'm reading it. Well, we got a bunch of people like that, but D Lucky's one of them. Let's see. Webmore is of the opinion that the name Ole Miss and their mascot, the Rebels, will stay. Yeah, I just don't know enough about that. I just don't know enough about it. I'm just not smart enough about that. I'm not learned enough in the Ole Miss ways. I personally think the name Flood is pretty freaking sweet. If Ole Miss went back to being known as the Flood, I think that's kick-ass. But for people who say, yo, we're bending to pressure, I could see how you would be bothered by that. And, yeah, it's just not my fight. I do love my Ole Miss Rebels friends, though. And I would just, defer to you guys. It sounds like they're going to actually change the state flag in the state of Mississippi which I think a lot of people were cool with before Greg Sankey tried to force them into doing something. I wasn't a big fan of that. I think they were going to do it on their own, and that would have been better. But, whatever. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's up, JG? This is Leif.
Hey, what up, Leif B? Word.
Oh, just out walking the dog, dodging the rain, thunderstorms, and fireworks.
Hey, man. It seems like you're always out on a walk when you call us, man. No.
It's about 9 o'clock.
You're either on a walk or you're driving your kid around trying to get her to sleep, right?
Yeah. That's very true because that's pretty much my nightly routine.
Thank you for hooking me up with the Waffens, dude. It is delicious, man.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. It's just a private label that they pick it from a certain distillery, but they used to the Medley Distillery used to be here in Owensboro, but it's now another distillery. But
they're saying it's a product of California, but it's distilled in Kentucky. Is that what they're saying?
Man, who knows?
All right, cool.
I do know it comes from Kentucky. I know that. But the owner of the label, hell, I'm a couple blocks away from his house, so that's not that. I mean, he's from Owensboro. I know that.
Word.
But
it sure does drink good, man.
Oh yeah, it's a great sipping whiskey. But I also sent those planks. If you smell those planks, you can smell the bourbon in them. I use them to cook with. Did you see those?
I did, man. I have not been able. I'm not really a cooker per se, but I need to be.
I didn't know if you were a griller or not.
Do you know how those things are actually used? Like, so you just dip them into the barrel? Is that how you do that?
Well, the distillery here in town, they have a certain process that is supposed to make whiskey taste like it's been aged longer. So they put the bourbon in the machines, and they stick those little wooden planks down in the bourbon to get the wood flavor, and I don't know, they do some sort of magic to it.
Oh, those are called staves, right?
Yeah, those are staves.
Word.
But what I do is I put them on the grill, my big green eggs, just like you would like a cedar plank.
Yeah.
For some sort of fish. I cooked brisket and I think a turkey with those.
Damn,
they do excellent.
Well, you really hooked me up, dude. You got me with the Wathens, you got the staves, you've got the white dog, and you got me some other stuff too.
Yeah. And I got a bottle of that other stuff in my pocket right now. I'm thinking about maybe taking myself a little nip.
Oh, snap. All right. And you say it's pretty damn good, huh?
It's good. It's somewhere between 14 and 17 years old. Is how old it was. And I got it from a friend of mine, and he said, "Here, take a little of this. Don't tell anybody where it came from." And so I have it. I gave some to a buddy of mine that lives down the street. He's from Frankfurt. I gave him some, and he said, you grew up in Frankfurt. He said, yeah, you might not believe this, but this wasn't the first time someone just gave me a random bottle with nothing on it, with brown liquor.
Yeah. Let's see if I can snip a little sip of that. What do you think? Do you think Ole Miss needs to change the name or the Rebels? Where do you stand on that one?
See, that's the thing. I mean, me being from Kentucky, I don't really have that big of an opinion. It's not that big of a deal to me one way or the other. And it's always been that way. I mean, we changed the mascot, but I don't know. It really doesn't. It doesn't make one difference to me.
All right.
So, but
I do think the flood's
I'm glad
pretty
we got
cool.
rid of the. Go ahead.
I think the flood is pretty damn cool, though. I think that's a cool idea, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand about all these football teams, back in the early 1900s that didn't have names. And like I know, like the Razorbacks, they were named by a sports writer, and I think I've always heard that was the same thing with Alabama.
Yeah,
too,
Alabama
right?
too. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine your legacy being that you named some mascot of a team?
Yeah, but it's just some
When you
slapdick that
just
nobody
write it in
knows
the
who it
paper?
is. It's just some slapdick who wrote for the Messenger or whatever,
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really weird if like Owensboro got a new high school and Mark Mathis, was the guy that ended up naming the team. I mean, that'd just be weird.
Mark Mathis is a badass, by the way. He was really cool to me when I was a kid. When I was at UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the local writer in Owensboro. Absolutely an Owensboro Messenger Hall of Fame, no doubt.
Yeah, speaking of Owensboro this week, something I saw crazy in the newspaper. I saw the hottest of all hot takes when it comes to Confederate statues. Someone out here in town, they had this big forum this week. And someone said they should take it down because Owensboro didn't deserve it, because Davis County and Kentucky didn't fight well enough for the Confederacy.
It didn't fight well. Win-loss was not good enough.
Yeah, like I texted a buddy of mine that went to the forum. I said, did someone really say this? Because there's no way this is right, because it's shitting on everybody.
Didn't fight well enough.
And he's like, yep.
Come on, man. That's impossible to prove. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
so how many sips of the Watsons have you had so far tonight?
Oh shit. Looks like I'm about a third of the way through it. I mean, it's pretty damn good, dude. I'm gonna lie about it. It's very friendly. It's a friendly bourbon.
It is.
It's easy to drink.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you.
But listen. You went way out of your way to get that for me, and it's very much appreciated, Leif. I mean, you're already a Hall of Famer on this show, but you're even more of a Hall of Famer in my mind.
Well, hey, glad to do it. Like I said, that Watson's, I've been buying that for years. Even whenever I was living in Arkansas, I would always, whenever I'd come home, I'd make sure to pick up a bottle to take to my weekly poker game.
I just took a shot right there. It was delicious.
Yeah. Well, just be careful of that white dog, though.
Sneak up on me?
It's a lot smoother than you'd think.
All right.
And yeah.
All right.
There's a reason why it's in a smaller bottle than everything else.
All right.
It can get you tore down.
We'll probably hit that one next weekend. I couldn't do both this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, Leif B. You're an absolute beast. Again, thank you very much for your extra effort on that, man.
All right, man. Well, stay safe.
See you, bro. There he is, Leif B., our guy in Davis County, Kentucky. He's one of the Rebel Groves guys, but he's also over here every single show. And like I said, he made this Wathans available. Took the time to buy it, send it, get it to me, and it's very much appreciated. I doubt you're going to find this in Alabama. But it's easy to drink. I'm probably going to save some of this for my friend J-Dub, who's my buddy here in town, and we love drinking bourbon together. He's going to really like this. This is just a very easy-to-drink bourbon. Yeah. 94 proof, so it's not going to tear your gut up. We also got some super chats coming through while we were on the phone there. One from Call Me Biscuit, another one I should say from Call Me Biscuit, says, Jazzy Joe, how much to put an AuburnSports.com, I guess, like a logo or a decal on the rig. And then Jazzy Joe jumps back and says, if JG says it's okay, I'll definitely do it. I actually love to do it. Hell yeah. We would love to have a bunker crest or decal, however you want to look at it. I mean, of course, to be represented on Jazzy Joe's rig up and down the interstates of the southeastern or just southern U.S. I mean, of course, we'd love to have that. So, yeah, hell yeah. I probably need to hook him up with a logo. I've got some logos. I got some, like, high-res logos. Probably work good for that. Canoe Man says, how awesome would it be to have the bunker on that badass rig and have a Brain Drain logo on it, too? We don't have a Brain Drain logo, I don't think, but my man Chris Rosenthal can hook us up with a Brain Drain logo, I bet. Like an actual one. Anyway, that'd be sweet. Looking forward to Jazzy Joe being on the rundown Tuesday. Gonna do some bomb. Gonna try to I hope we get to emasculate Brian over that. Because BMAT does not like doing the bomb. Okay, so I'm way behind here. We've been taking calls from all kinds of awesome callers. And I said, oh, wait, shit. Someone asked me like forever ago. I don't even remember who the hell it was. About Jabari, the 2021 small forward. Jabari Smith. I texted Jeffrey about it. And Jeffrey answered me about it. So he says, Auburn is definitely among the favorites for Jabari Smith, no doubt. Here's what he said recently about Auburn. Quote, they are always known for getting Georgia guys and just recently started to win with them. I honestly think their program is headed to be one of the powerhouses. And they get a lot of guys from Georgia. And who wouldn't want to play with someone like Sharif Cooper, one of the best point guards in the country? Just him going there, and they've got JT Thor. So the caliber of players they're getting is really good, and the coaching staff is great. It just felt like it was exploding whenever I was there. Other schools in contention, Jabari says it's Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, LSU, and Auburn. I haven't talked to Florida State in a while, but they text me every now and again. Also Georgia Tech, so you can see. You know, Tennessee's definitely upwardly mobile. Auburn's definitely upwardly mobile. Georgia's supposed to be, although they haven't really done it yet. Ole Miss is definitely moving up, I think. I don't know how you feel about LSU. I don't know how I feel about him either. So there you go. That's the update on Jabari Smith. We were asked about that like an hour ago, and it took me that long to get that answer. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, so we need to get young Nate on the horn. First of all, Call Me Biscuit says, you owe me, bitch, JGT. All right, I owe you, Biscuit. You got it, brother. Webmore says we'll need that G-Pits logo, too. And we do have one of those. Yeah, we do have one of those because of when we started off with Cathead, we had to get one for them, and now they're back with us. So, of course, we love Cathead. You guys know that. We're supposed to talk to young Nate tonight. So let's see if we can get young Nate on the horn. Nope, still not coming up. Oh, that's right. Hold on. That's because he tricked me. He's not actually 205. Even though he lives up there, he's not from there. He's a 407. Because he's actually Orlando. And we will get young Nate. We haven't had young Nate on the horn. And how long has it been since we have young Nate on the horn? I mean, sheesh. He has been, so he graduated and then he went home, which is, for him, is Huntsville. And he's been up there for a while, though I think he's moving back to Auburn. We will get this straightened out on the horn. He was supposed to be with us for the rundown this coming week. But, I mean, if we got Jazzy Joe, we'd probably move Jazzy Joe in front of Nate's ass. So we'll talk to Nate about simulating the season and all that kind of stuff. Also graduating as a college graduate in the middle of this virus thing.
Yeah, hello.
Is this young Nate?
It sure is. You've reached my line.
I expected it to be a 256 number, but it wasn't. That was really weird.
You blew it. You tried the joke and you stuttered, and now the joke's over.
I forgot if it was 205 or 256. Nate, Word, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm back in beautiful Auburn, Alabama.
Yes?
For the first time since things have been crazy. Last time I was here, things were normal. So it's good. I got voodoo the other day, and that was incredible. I'm very glad to be back.
I want to ask you, I know this was not the way you pictured your senior year ending, right into a pandemic. Tell me about these last 2 or 3 months. Kind of, I'm sure you're really proud to have gotten your college degree. You should be. And then on the other hand, it's like it's just been total chaos in the world.
Yeah, it sucks a lot. And what I've just kind of tried to tell myself is that, look, it sucks for everybody. And that doesn't mean that you have to pretend like it doesn't suck. Like, I can be down about things and I can be upset about things because honestly, there have been a lot of things that have gone really awful for me since all this has happened. But at the same time, I guess you've got to realize that everyone is in the same boat. So I try to be really optimistic about things. I try to just keep a positive attitude. But there's a lot of things to be thankful for at the same time. I'm glad I'm healthy. I'm glad that everybody I know is healthy and safe and everything like that. So hopefully, we'll have some football to save us here in a little bit, which would be incredible. But if not, then we'll just keep chugging along. We'll just keep doing our thing until things go back to normal, because they will at some point. So it sucks a lot, but I try to look for the positives, as I'm sure everybody's trying to do.
And of course, you've got your lovely Lass with you, your young lady friend, who has been with you for a minute or two, right? This is a good chance for you to say nice things about her.
Yes, my lovely Lass. Actually, she is in Huntsville. She's precepting right now at Huntsville Hospital. So she is
sad,
doing all kinds of BA stuff. She's way cooler than I am. She's delivering babies and just in general being awesome. So we're actually not together right now because she's back there and I got to get some stuff ready to move into the apartment up here. So, but yeah, it's been good to just kind of spend time with her and spend time with family because I got to live at home in Huntsville for a while and I didn't expect to do that again. I expected Christmas break to be the last time that I saw my family for a super long period of time. The last time that I really lived there, but I got some more time to do that. So
when is
taking the positives when you can.
When is she coming down to Lee County?
Not until both her and I graduate that day in Jordan-Hare. She's got the morning graduation. I've got the evening one. And then we get married 2 weeks later. So that period will be hectic. And then once we get married, we'll be in the apartment. But until then, we'll be back and forth from Huntsville to Auburn, over and over and over again.
And when is your wedding date? What's your wedding date?
August 22nd. So
everybody
in the bunker is invited.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right in the middle of 2-a-days. That a boy. That's a good way to plan it right there.
Well, so my planning way back when was, I thought I did this really, really smartly, but of course it came back and bit me in the butt. I was like, all right, that's like that dead week, when the school starts and things get normal. You got a Tuesday press conference, but that's really it. Summer practice is over, the game is coming up, things really slow down a lot. So I was like, okay, we'll plan it for when practices are over.
I can see that.
And we've got a week until the game, and then when I come back from the honeymoon, I'll be able to cover the first game. But obviously now that schedule is probably out the window.
Yeah.
So who cares at this point? I'm just going to do whatever and do my best. It's pretty much everything has been thrown to crap, but that's okay.
Man, listen, I got married on August 9th, so I'm right there with you, bro. I'm only a week or two before you. It's all right.
August wedding buddy.
Yeah, we're going to be. You're not there yet, but and I'm 27 years ahead of you, but that's okay. It's no big deal. I also want to ask you, young Nate, about you have successfully now finished the Auburn football season, simulating it on NCAA football. Auburn finished, 11-2. Is that right? With a win over Wisconsin in the Outback Bowl, a come-from-behind win, I should note. How close do you think that would be to actual reality? Do you think this is an 11-win team?
Probably not. If this team gets to 10 wins, that would be awesome. I think that would be I asked on Twitter after I was done if people could lock in a 10-2 regular season. Today, you don't get to go any higher. You don't get to go. Obviously, you won't go any lower. You don't get to shoot to win the SEC or anything like that, but you will win 10 games in the regular season. Would you lock that in? I think Auburn fans would be out of their mind to not take that. I mean, everything the defense is losing. I think if you only lose 2 games in the regular season, it's a tough schedule again because of Georgia and Alabama both being on the road. So only 2 losses assumes that you beat one of those 3 teams and you pretty much run the table otherwise. So I think Auburn fans should probably take that. So if they win 10 games this year, that's a huge win for them. I'm not sure if they can get there. But who knows? I mean, if Bo Nix takes a good step and the defense is still pretty good, like I think they probably should be, you never know. He's got to win one of those on the road, though. He's got to beat Georgia or Alabama, I think, which he obviously hasn't done on the road.
Not yet. Also, one of your buddies, Jake W., you may know him from your time at the Plainsman, says it's good to hear from Nate. He says that in the chat. So.
Is that Jake Weiss, my boy?
It is indeed.
I hung out with your boy earlier tonight, your Warzone boy, Christian.
Not
he
mine.
told me that y'all,
not mine, but he's a very good player.
Oh, he told me y'all played Call of Duty together.
Like 2 months ago. I think he's so far up Justin Lee's ass that he won't ever play with me, but he's a tremendous player. He's really, really good.
Yeah, on that leaderboard thing or that little cup that they made in my namesake, he pretty much beat every team all by himself. He didn't even need anybody else on his team. It's actually kind of crazy.
Well, I think he could.
I'm terrible.
I think he could actually play that as a pro player. I mean, he's really insanely good. I do find it weird, Nate, that they named the Call of Duty, the Warzone tournament after you. You don't even play Warzone, do you?
No, and that was the meme. So Justin Lee was he asked me permission if I could do it, if he could name it that, because they tried to get me to play Warzone for so long, and I didn't really, number one, that's not just what I really do. I don't really play those games very often, and number two, if I did, I would just be awful at them. So they kind of thought that was funny that I never, they said that I blew them off all the time, which is, I mean, they just make up crap, but so they thought it would be funny to name it after me. And then the prize, I think, was a signed picture of me, which I didn't actually sign. They forged my signature, and apparently they're going to frame that. They're going to frame that in the Plainsman office. So whatever, it's fine. They can do whatever. It's all for the laughs.
Yeah, I know you're down with the laughs. I know that. Although I do want to say that Justin Lee and Josh V, I want to protect his anonymity. They don't ever invite me into their games. They think that I'm not good enough for them. Although I really feel like our bunker crew could wipe the freaking floor with their ass if they didn't have Christian. If they didn't have Christian, it would be not even a fight. They ride coattails.
Yeah,
big time.
Christian's back was really sore tonight. He said from just carrying all those guys for a few months.
That's what I like to hear. They suck except for him, dude. So Justin Lee wants to talk big shit, but he's really not very good unless Christian's with him. That's the truth, dude.
Hey, can you tell them this? Can you send them this link whenever this is done and tell them what timestamp to go to for when you start trash talking them?
Dude, I have done nothing but talk shit at Justin Lee and Josh on the Twitter. They know exactly how I feel about it. I said it on the show.
I said
it in the chat
when
we were playing. And I'm telling you right now, dude, if they didn't have Christian or G-Ferg, they would be among the worst teams in all of Call of Duty. They would be horrible. So when Justin tries to tell you, Nate, that he's really good, he sucks balls. Believe me, he's terrible.
Well, I'm sure that keeps him up at night.
Dude, I'm 48 years old, okay? He's 30? And I have better numbers than he does across the board. Think about that. I'm an old man. I'm on heart medication.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Just tell me that Justin Lee sucks.
Okay, Justin Lee sucks, and you're incredible.
Thank you. Oh, Nate, that was awesome, dude. Thank you for that. Anything else kind of piquing your interest Auburn-wise, except for you going through game by game and simulating stuff on NCAA football, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, not really, I guess. Well, we're just trying to get creative, you know.
Yeah.
I like the series right now with the countdown. I like the format. People do those a lot. I like BMAT's format of getting the person who rated them the highest to explain that. I think that's an interesting way to do that rather than just kind of the run-of-the-mill top 20 players thing. Yeah, I've got some stuff that the subscribers should look out for next week. Just some story ideas I'm kicking around. I'm going to keep trying to push out some fun content that hopefully hopefully everybody likes.
Okay. And we also got a guy named Christian C. You may have heard of him before. He says Nathan is the GOAT.
Wow, man, they really came all out to support me in this chat. Tell them to send over a super chat if they're really down for it. If they really mean it.
And also, I don't know if you've noticed this, but on the show, Jazzy Joe, who's one of our all-time great super chatters, said he's going to be coming to the taping this weekend, on Tuesday rather. We thought you were going to be back in town. We would be able to have you, but I mean, if Jazzy Joe's coming, I don't know what that means for you, Nate. I don't know if you'll be able to come back on the show this Tuesday.
I don't understand.
Well, you were supposed to be back in town, right? Well, you are back in town.
I am back in town. So what's the problem?
We thought you would be on the rundown, but now Jazzy Joe, who's one of the all-time greats, has said he would like to be on the show. So now we may have to bump you in favor of Jazzy Joe on Tuesday.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I see how it is. How many stories did he write for the website last week?
He's a long-haul trucker, bro. I mean, it's a different deal.
All right, I guess. I mean, it sounds like the decision's been made for me. I'll just, you know what I'll do? I'll be the bunker member. I'll be the bunker member that sits a few tables away, and like Charlie 5 that one time, I'll point and laugh at everything y'all do. How about that? I'll do my best. And you know what? Anyone who wants to join me, you can.
Charlie 5.
Let's do it.
Way to bring him in, Nate. That's good shit. All right, Nate.
Well,
King.
I just remember him heckling you that one time, and it was hilarious.
I know he wants to. He doesn't understand why I don't like him, but it's pretty obvious why I don't like him. He's a dick. That's why. I know you don't have to say that, Nate. All right, Nate. I'm glad to have you on the show. You're an absolute beast, and yeah, just keep kicking ass, bro.
Always for you.
All right, Nate. See you, brother.
All right, y'all take care.
Bye-bye. There he goes, Nate King, our intern, who's done an outstanding job, writes lots of interesting stuff. He's way better than I was at that age. I mean, like, ridiculously way better. Leif B says, Nate versus Jazzy Joe in a arm wrestling contest to get a seat at y'all's table. Oh, I think I know who would win that one. Because Nate's not really a big brawn guy. He's not a strong guy. No. We've got administrative assistant in the house now. Again. How are things going, administrative assistant? Yeah, I did put a hurt on that Wathans bottle. It is now 9:59 in the Central Time Zone, which means we've been on the air for, how long have we been on the air, Cordy? 2 hours and 50 minutes, to be exact. We are using 15% of our CPU power, and we are outputting at 60 frames per second. How about that? Christian C., who is the aforementioned Wrench, he's an outstanding Call of Duty player, is in the chat, and he says, we love Nathan. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't love Nathan. He's a fun guy. Alpha Tiger says he's back online. Gents, I'm not exactly sure why you were offline. I'm sure you were hanging out with maybe your gal, or maybe not. I don't know. Underarms 2012 says, any word on the game in Atlanta? Would they change that location? I don't think so. But I think the game in Atlanta is kind of in jeopardy in the way that everything is. There's a lot of money invested in that game, so, I mean, they'd love to see it go off. But as we've talked about on the show, we don't know. There's a lot of questions to be answered about, this season getting off and all that kind of stuff, if that's going to actually occur. Let's see. Call Me Biscuit says, new attitude from the new mod. Nate ain't going to put up with our shit. How about that, huh? Leif B says, let your wife, i.e. administrative assistant, have some of that bourbon and then ask her if she'd like to eat some olives. With yours truly. You could be his Laura. His Laura. Alpha Tiger says he's been hanging out at the pool by the beach, no mask. What an alpha dog answer. But that's just Alpha Tiger. You're such an alpha, bro. I texted Doc Dumpsta about 5 minutes ago to see if he wanted to come on the show, and I got no answer. Doc Dumps, it's kind of all or nothing with him. You either get an answer or you don't. Oh, snap. We got another big super chat coming through from Jazzy Joe. Says, don't call me out, Nate Dogg. I told Nate that we were going to have Jazzy Joe on the show instead of him on Tuesday, and he said, oh, how many stories has he written for the site? Hey, man, we're not counting story numbers. If we were, I'd be in last place, yo. But thank you, Jazzy Joe, again, man. It's funny as hell. Jazzy Joe presumably listened to the show in his truck, in his rig, as he's rolling down the highway. He's headed toward Atlanta right now. It's fun to have Nate Dogg on. He's good. He's a really good reporter for his age, man. What now? What about him? No, we hadn't had B-Man on the horn yet. I probably had to go ahead and call him because... No, B-Man stays up late. What now? Oh, yeah. Do you think he'll be like... Hey, guys. Thanks, Jazzy Joe. I appreciate you, brother. That's like your 4th or 5th super chat of the night. Underarms 2012 says Nate Dogg must not be good at NCAA 14 to simulate the games and not play them. Says a lot about a man's character. Yeah, I don't know. So he was kind of covering the games, and I think in that situation, I think it's okay for the way he handled it. In fact, I think it's probably the right way to do it. That way, his skill level doesn't play into it. He lets the PlayStation figure that shit out. Let's see. Alpha says, not trying to block out Tater, but you could get a few pretty solid lap dances with all that super chat dough, Jazzy. We're not all living for lap dances, bro. In fact, I haven't had let me rephrase that. I haven't had a lap dance from somebody who's not the administrative assistant in years. I'm not really, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not really into lap dances per se. I know a lot of you guys go to strip clubs, and man, that's cool. Everybody's got to do their thing to kind of do what they like to do. But strip clubs are not my scene at all. It's just not my thing. I'm turning this one up I want to dedicate this one right here to a few people. Young Nate, who's done a great job for us. Also to Jazzy Joe, who's a badass, and we're looking forward to hanging out with you here in the next few days. And then I also want to give a few shouts here to Canoe Man, who's been awesome in the chat tonight. Also Alpha Tiger, who's been in and out, but been really good when he's been in there. Call Me Biscuit, Canoe Man. You guys doing a hell of a job. And, of course, Leif B., who made this bourbon possible. This is a great, just like, sipping bourbon. I really enjoy this. It just drinks real easy, man. Wathins. I don't think you can get this in Alabama, but if you're in Kentucky, Tennessee, maybe Arkansas, if we have any viewers in Arkansas, might be able to get some of that. Let's call B-Matt and see if he's out of breath. Oh, my gosh. Alpha Tiger says, who do you think gives it to their lady better, B-Matt or Lumberg? Administrative assistant, do you have an opinion on that? Of course. Administrative assistant has met Yvonne many times. We like Yvonne. She's a nice girl. That's B-Matt's wife, by the way. We're going to go ahead and call B-Matt. Let's see if we can get him on the horn. Let's see what shitty-ass show he's watching now.
Hello.
Is this B-Matt?
The one and only.
What up, bro?
Not much. It's what I'm doing right now.
Are you watching a show?
I am laying in bed, yep. And petting the dog.
Are you out of breath? Because if you're in bed and you're out of breath, I know what's going on.
Everything's good.
Oh, okay. So, word.
What you been up to?
hanging out with. We just had young Nate on just a minute ago, and you know how he is. He's pretty cool.
Did he tell you of all the important things? Right.
What did you just say? I don't understand.
Did he tell you of all the important things happening in Huntsville right now?
No, but he just moved back to Lee County, so he's kind of out of the loop in Huntsville, I guess. Except that his girl's up there.
Oh, so we're going to see him at Voodoo this week.
Well, I have some news for you. Jazzy Joe is going to be coming to the show on Tuesday with his freaking rig, which is the size of your house and my house. So we may have to bump Nate in favor of Jazzy Joe.
Wow. Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. I think Nate was a little bit upset because he asked me on the air, how many stories has Jazzy Joe written for the site?
Oh, Jazzy Joe, my goodness. Wow. Okay.
His role is not to write stories. His role is to be a long-haul trucker and kick ass, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So what's been going on with you, bro?
Well, let's see. I mowed our front lawn today. Did a little shopping. Did my walk, yep. And I'm getting ready for a big day tomorrow. I'm going to smoke a Boston butt for the first time.
Are you a smoker?
I am now. I'm learning still. But we got the rub on it, and it's in the refrigerator, getting all ready. And then in the morning, I'm going to get up and put it on the smoker, and we'll see how it goes.
Damn. I didn't even think of you as a smoker guy, but here you are. You're blazing new trails, bro.
Well, I mean, when you're in a pandemic and you're mostly housebound with not a lot to do, you got to try new things.
Wait, why are you housebound? Are you sick?
No. I'm just, still being careful. Wear my mask out in public, all those things.
Oh, that's right. Canoe Man said in the chat, maybe we should bump Jay Lee instead of Nate. Ooh, that would be very controversial.
That would be. Plus, Jay Lee really likes those desserts,
He does. I would hate to deprive him of those key lime.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a good idea.
Maybe can we do 5 people on the show? I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, we could, and if Nate needs to wait outside for a little while, I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
Shit, leave him outside when it's raining. Yeah, fuck you, man.
We can send him some wings or something. They won't get too soggy if it's wet. It'll be fine.
Hell yeah.
He's young; he can handle it. Yeah.
He did compliment you when he was on the horn. He said you've been doing an awesome job with the countdown because he thinks it's really cool that you do like the review of the player, and then you've kind of come up with this idea where the top voter should go ahead and write like their own little soliloquy about why they voted that player so high. So he gave you a lot of credit for that.
Why they love him so much. Well, that's nice.
That was nice. He looks up to you, B. Matt. You're like you're the old ass man who's like been doing this so long, and he looks up to you.
I have been doing this for a few minutes. Yeah.
100 million minutes, basically.
By the way, I have been celebrating also.
What have you been celebrating?
I've been celebrating Liverpool winning its first Premier League title in 30 years.
So very well done. I don't love Liverpool, but they had one hell of a season. I can't argue that.
They pretty much destroyed everybody in the Premier League, at least. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I've been watching. Actually, I spent a good portion of this evening watching Liverpool little things on YouTube and stuff. Just nice.
Yeah, so it's tough for me because I'm a United fan, and we're kind of raised to hate Liverpool. But I don't hate Liverpool because you're my guy, and you're our ace team reporter, and you're happy that they won, and I'm happy for you.
So Man United won like 9 since Liverpool won its last one. So they've been having a pretty good time during that period.
Yeah, somebody on the bunker said,
but not lately.
No, not lately.
But I've been thinking about next year, and I think Man U's going to be better, and Chelsea's going to be better, so it could be more of a 4-team race than just a 2-team race, I think, next year.
It's weird. I'm so bad. I'm so into United that I can look at Liverpool's win, and I'm just really happy that City didn't win it. I can actually compartmentalize it that well.
We can always root against City. That's something we definitely have in common.
I hate City so much. I hate every last one of them, and I want them all to just, I don't know, get an infection and on their. I'm not gonna say it. I better be quiet. But I want it to be ultimately curable. But I want them to get a really bad burning infection that hurts for weeks.
Like back in college, right?
Easy, buddy. Call Me Biscuit says, whatever position BMAT is sitting in, he sounds clear. He should take self-notes.
All right. Well, my phone is in the perfect spot. Well, Sprint is now merged with T-Mobile. Maybe I'm getting better service now. Maybe that's it.
Ooh, that might be what it is, bro.
Could be.
Alpha Tiger wants to do the F, Marry, Kill thing with you. He'd like to ask you, it's between Stump, Ghost of Tallahassee Tiger, and Gary. Which one of those will be F, Marry, Kill?
Oh, gosh.
Of course, Gary 7.
I'd have to. Wait, who's the three again? Tell me the three again.
It's Stump Fan, Ghost of Tallahassee Tiger, and Gary 7. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough. Can I kill all three of them?
We'll just leave it there.
That was kind of mean, wasn't it?
Raven P says, is BMAT having oxygen pumped into the bedroom? Is that why you're breathing so normally?
No oxygen. I did though. I mowed the grass this evening, so I did not go on my walk. So that's probably why I'm not out of breath right now.
Wow.
I did not go on my even walk. Yvonne went with Winnie together. They do it. They went on their own.
How many steps did you get today then?
I've got like 16,000 and counting.
Just from mowing the lawn? Your house isn't that damn big.
Well, I walked this morning too, and then we ran around the city and did some errands too.
Oh, word. That's a lot of steps, dude. I don't get 16,000 hardly ever.
That's a lot for me too.
Word. Anything else intriguing you in the Auburn sphere that you would like to discuss? There's not much going on, but here's your platform.
No, there's not. We talked to Stephen Williams and Cody Greenhill. I think it was Friday. I haven't written anything from it, but I will. But Cody's excited about being a starter, so he's going to work on his breaking ball. And Stephen's just excited about the roster they have coming back, which is basically most of the guys they got, plus a bunch of really good players coming in. So I think there's a lot of optimism around that baseball team. And basketball-wise, it's good to see a few highlights. I don't know if y'all saw Sharif passing it to, was it Cardwell? Was that right?
Dylan Cardwell, yeah.
Center?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dylan Cardwell. There you go. That was pretty decent. And then football-wise, I haven't really heard anything new in the last week or so, but I would expect captain's practices will be starting here in the next couple of weeks. And then before we know it, they'll be starting that little mini camp, which is, I guess, the start of practice now, so to speak.
It's getting to be that time. It's going to be hard to get answers, though. It seems like asking people for information about how workouts are going out. It's like you're asking for espionage. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, yeah, I know.
Let's see. Underarms 2012 says no way Brian got 16,000 steps in, so he's calling bullshit on that.
Oh wow, okay.
And then Leif B says he got 21,000 just today. So how do you feel about that?
Dang,
that's a lot. I think
boy's
that's
been hoofing it all day.
When I went to Disneyland, I got 21,000. That was moving all day. So.
Yeah, you got to do something like that and nobody get over 20. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's hard
to
do.
Stepping.
I would consider that person a hot stepper.
No doubt.
You know what I'm talking about. B-Matt, you're doing a hell of a job considering the circumstances, and we just got to hope that football actually happens, even though I'm not sure about it.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. I think something's going to happen. So, that's too much money not to do something. So
I know that's how you feel about it.
Not doing the spring.
I hope you're right.
Do it.
Yeah, even if they have to do it in the spring, they'll do it one way or another.
Yep.
Brian, you're a badass. I will see you Tuesday at the Voodoo, and whether we have Nate or Jazzy or both, we'll just kind of figure that out as we go. All right, brother. You be good.
Later.
See you, man. There he goes. B-Matt. B-Matt. Our ace team reporter, and a man who's obviously a doer of many things. Doer of many things. Let's see. Alpha Tiger says Cody Greenhill won't be a starter. Count on it, but love the baseball reports. B-Matt. There we go. Alpha Tiger continues that Cody Greenhill's bullpen is his role. Even if he starts in rotation, he will move to pen. Oh, boy. How about that? Oh, no. I forgot. I did not change this to B-Matt, did I? That stinks. Dadgummit. I should have remembered to do that. I've been drinking this Wathins, and it got me messed up. And then we got a B-Matt picture. Where's he at? Here he is. What's up, B-Matt? How you doing, bro? Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. Looks like our friend Jeff S. is watching the show, who is texting me to remind me that I was disrespecting B-Matt by not putting his name on the front there. That was terrible. I should be doing better than that. Sorry about that. Canoe Man says, here's 25 for a laptop cooling pad. Canoe Man, I'm telling you, bro, I'm getting an iMac Pro with an 8-core i9 powerful-ass Intel superpower with like 32 gigs of RAM, excuse me, I'm showing my age, and a 1 terabyte SSD. We're going to do that, and we're going to kick ass, and we're going to make this thing work. And we're going to do G-Pits every single week, and we're going to do 3 video feeds, and we're going to do a call-in show on G-Pits. We're doing this because it needs to be done, and because you guys have been incredibly generous with your super chats, we can make that a reality. And, of course, I'll be giving you guys full pictures. I don't know why you guys give a shit, because you wouldn't. You'd be like, I don't care as long as it works. I'm an Apple guy. I've been an Apple guy. Grew up in a school system that had all Apples in San Diego and Tierra Santa, California, back in 81, 82, and all we had was Apple computers, and we just programmed on them and stuff. That's what we did. I'm an Apple guy. I'm always going to be an Apple guy. Apple sucks. Easterwood, no problem, dude. I get it. You're not into it. Nobody's upset. I'm just saying that's what works for me. Canoe Man, thank you very much for your super chat, sir. And, of course, Jazzy Joe for being extremely generous tonight. Appreciate you, bro. Pocket Watch says, always good to have a cooling pad. Absolutely. Let's see, Underarm says, this is my first time looking at the schedule thoroughly. My mind is going to be all messed up. Used to Ole Miss around Halloween. UGA middle of the season, don't like it. Yeah, I know, but here's the thing about that. So the Georgia game is not down at the bottom where it's at Georgia, at Alabama, back-to-back. So that's the thing. Auburn had been pushing for this for 3 or 4 years, and they finally got what they wanted. They broke up the Alabama and the Georgia game, but as I've said like 2 months ago when we talked about this, it was great that they split up Georgia and Alabama, but then to put LSU right there is not much of an improvement, if an improvement at all. But, you get what you get. Brad Easterwood says, I remember my first computer. Well, I don't mind. I don't mind y'all ragging on me for being an Apple guy. It doesn't bother me. I don't have, I just don't have any interest in, the PC stuff. I'm not hating on it. Just, I know there will be a learning curve, and I don't feel like messing with it. So, we'll do that. Calm Biscuits is going to. I had it done, bro. I thought they were going to have new ones this week. That we're going to have the Apple announced here recently they're going to switch away from Intel chips and they were going to make their own, which they're going to do, but going to. So I thought I would try to get ahead of the curve, but they're not going to release new ones right now. So I'll just get I'll get a iMac Pro. We'll go with it like there. Rob D says MacBook Pro is the best. Make it a business write-off. Yeah, I have a MacBook Pro. That's what the show is done on. It's just not quite strong enough for multiple video streams. So we're going to get something a little bit stronger. We're going to get an iMac Pro, hopefully, or maybe an iMac with a bunch of upgrades on the GPU. But we'll see. Canoeman says, stick with Apple will be brutal to go to a PC after being used to the joy that are Macs. Yeah. Underarms 2012 says, are you operating on OBS? I am. I use OBS, which has some really cool shit about it. I mean, I'm just used to it now, so I kind of understand how it works. But I need something that has a little bit more functionality on it. So I'm probably going to go to Wirecast. Our friends at UGAsports.com, Roddy Nabulsi, who works over there, he's the Commodore of that ship. He's actually a friend of mine, even though I shit on him all the time. I love him. And that's what they use over there, although they don't necessarily know what they're doing with it, but they use it. And they do a show with Jim Donnan. They do like a lunchtime stream over there. They do it like once a week. It's basically like their voodoo show, except they do it for video, which maybe we ought to consider doing, honestly. But they use Wirecast over there. I think he uses Apple, too. Not sure. But anyway, yes, I use OBS. Whew. Anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking on that. We are now 3 hours and 12 minutes into this show. Can you believe that? 10:22 in the Central Time Zone. 11:22 for our friends in the Eastern Time Zone. Be on the air for a while. Alpha Tiger says, people who prefer, I don't even know what this means, but I'm going to say it anyway. People who prefer Macs are the same swoogans that have the TP feeding under Neanderthals. Neanderthals. I have never been called a Neanderthal, so I feel like I have made it. Infinity and O says, got a Pro Mac tower from 2008 and it's still kicking ass. It blows me away how good some of those Pro Mac towers are. And some of those from obviously you got a 2008 model. There's models from like 2010, 11, 12 that are still like really kicking ass. They're like 12 cores or whatever. I just know whatever I've got here, I got a 4-core. It's not enough. It's enough for the show, but it's not enough for the G-Pits. Yeah, that's one thing to think about. So we got everybody on that we wanted to have on except for the Dr. Dumpster. We have not gotten him on the horn. I was hoping that he would. I sent him a text, and we did not hear anything back from Doc. So my interpretation of that means that he's with a filly, probably a little, like a bigger gal, and he doesn't have time for the phone right now. I mean, that's what I draw from that. You guys may feel the same way. Dr. Dumpster. We also have not heard from Papa Bear, who I believe is having a birthday today. We also have not heard from Bob himself, which makes me lonely and sad. Here we go. Brad E says, I've got double the computer for half the price. Build my own, and we'll build mine, or we'll build one for any bunker member. Dude, there's always one of y'all. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm sure you're right. But, like, if you have 500 times the power, but I don't know how to use it, then it means nothing to me. And I'm a simpleton, you know? I'm JG. I'm supposed to be a writer. I'm kind of dabbling in this streaming video shit, you know, doing my best. I mean, this OBS took me like 3 months to figure out. You know? I don't know. Let's see. Canoe Man says it also gets too hot with multiple video streams, which MacBooks are built to slow down when that happens to protect themselves. I think you're kidding. It just gets like right now my fans are running, but they're not like super. They're not like buzzing. They're fine. It says I'm only using 17% of the CPU right now, which is not that high, but it taxes it a little bit. When I have Gabriel and Neil McGreevy on, my CPU use is like 65% just on that one application. Brad E says, I'm proud of your streaming abilities. I mean, it took me a while, bro. It took me a while, and we should be better. I mean, I want some of these notifications, so like when somebody does a super chat, I want there to be a notification and shit like that, but I mean, I'm not quite there yet. Call Me Biscuit says, this is a true story, dude. I can't even show you this. Call Me Biscuit says, bet anyone a few bucks we're about to get to wrap it up. And literally, she just sent me, I don't know if you guys can see this. It says, wrap it up. Right on time, Biscuit. Perfect, man. And she sent me a GIF that says, wrap up the conversation and get the hell out. Perfect, Biscuit. You were right on the money, man. But we don't really go with the first one. Carrie J says, do you think Chad Morris will utilize all of our tight ends this season? War Eagle from Nashville. There's like 6 of them on the roster now. So, no, I don't think he'll be able to use all of them, but I think he's going to use them a lot more. I think he's going to use a lot more. And I've told you guys this before. Those of you who listen to the show every single week or watch it, I guess I should say. Brandon Frazier, he's going to be an absolute badass. He's going to be the best one of this group. He's going to be a beast. He's going to catch. All right, I'll say it. He's going to catch more than 100 balls in his career. And he's going to be an all-SEC player at some point in his career. He's an absolute badass. Infinity No says, new Mac Pros look pretty sweet but costly. Yeah, just a little bit. I was actually looking these up. I always buy refurb from Apple because you can get them for like half the price. What? Oh, shit. What am I saying half the price? You can get them for less money. But they still have the full warranty on them, which is perfect. And all I've ever bought is refurb, except for this one laptop right here, which is a special situation. They actually, I took this to an, you son of a bitch. They don't have iMac Pros available in refurb anymore. Son of a bitch. They'll have them back eventually. This computer, I had a refurb before. They messed it up when they were trying to fix it. I took it into a certified Mac store, and they messed it up, and they said, "Oh, we got it, no problem." And because I had Apple Care on it, and they gave me a brand new computer because they messed up my other one. They just gave me a brand new one, which is really sweet. I was pretty fired up about that. I'm still getting to wrap it up from administrative assistant. WebW says Pegues, though. Yes, Pegues. JJ Pegues from Oxford, Mississippi. I think Gus wants to use him as a wildcat, but that's what he said before. I don't know what he thinks now. Canoe Man says, "What are your thoughts on Jill Arrington?" Holy shit! You want to talk about Jill Arrington? Because I got something for you. Oh my goodness! Look who we got here. What's up, Jill? Oh. I just messed that up, didn't I? Come here, Jill. Hi. It's great to see you here, Jill. Aren't you great? Underarm says, I know B-Matt and Jay Lee are Netflix guys. I cannot remember if you are Jay Tate. If you are, what shows do you watch? Great question. I am a Netflix guy, among other things. We have been watching a show lately. I talked earlier, we watched Athlete A last night, which is about the USA Gymnastics situation, which is horrible. And it made me cry. I will admit that. It made me cry. I am so pissed off that dude assaulted that many girls who were very young, and I bet a significant number of them are having issues. Many of them are probably working through them, but it's not easy. And there's a few more who are not able to work through them because it's too hard. And it's messed up their lives. And he's an asshole. Larry Nassar is a really bad person, and that's what I watched. So yeah, he's a real dick. Jesse Joe says Rachel Weisz. Put her up, please. Of course, we can do Rachel Weisz. We love Rachel Weisz. Oh, by the way, the Mac Pros start at $11,000 refurb. $11,000. $11,000. I don't think I need that. I mean, I love me some Mac Pros, but I don't need that. Let's see if we can get a full shot on Rachel Weisz here, so we can make a judgment. Oh, we don't want that one. Wait, what? There's not that many full body shots of Rachel Weisz, dude. Believe it or not. I think this one will work, though. Can make that one work. Got you, bro. Jesse Joe, I got you, bro. She's a cutie. My friend, Colin Nickel, he used to be on the beat. It's going to be way too big. Oh, it's not that big. There's Rachel Weisz. I'm just trying to get like a full body shot of her. That's as close as we can get. She's a cutie. There's no doubt about that. Call Me Biscuit says, any word from Dave the Wizard? I have actually, I have messaged, via DM with Dave the Wizard. He's doing fine. I've checked him. I've checked with him. He's doing fine. I don't know why he hadn't posted. I don't really get into that much with him, but I checked with him to see if he was doing okay, and he said he was doing fine. So there you go. Wait, Alpha Tiger, what are you talking about? I don't even understand what that means. Easterwood's continuing to bang this PC Mac stuff. Dude, I can't run a PC. I don't understand the Windows environment. I've never used it. I've been using Apple since the early 80s, okay? I can't switch now. Oh, Alpha, I get what you're saying now. That's not very nice, dude. I'm going to remove that post. Although it's not super bad, but it's bad enough. Let's see. JG, 3/4 of a bottle in is awesome. I'm not. I don't know. Where are we at? We're like a quarter in. No, we're getting closer to a half, I guess. We're a third. No, we're getting close to half, maybe. I don't know. She's cutie. Can we get Rachel Weisz on the show? I mean, there's better pictures of her, but they're not full body. I know how you guys are. You guys are like, we demand full body shots. Because you'll say to yourself, I don't know how to assess this without a full body shot. I didn't realize she was that thin. I mean, it's not like I ever thought of her as a big girl or anything like that, but I just thought she was like average size, you know? That's not Rachel Weisz. Shut up. Nah, she's really cute, though. No arguing that. All right, we got a couple super chats coming through. Canoe Man, obviously, we talked earlier about the cooling pad. WebW, our guy, says doing a hell of a job. Thank you, WebW. Appreciate you, brother. I know we got some mutual friends. And actually, I was doing a virtual dinner with her or them earlier in the day with our friends BH and CH and their son DH. Also, a super chat coming through from Caddy Wumpus, which is a great name, by the way. Says, what up, yo? Just saw you were on. We've been on for like 3 hours, bro. But anyway, we love you, Caddy. Thank you for being part of the show. Excuse me. And Jazzy Joe comes in with his, I think, 6th super chat. He says, looking at her allows me to drive with no hands. Hey now. Wow. She's a pretty girl, though. She's a pretty girl. Like I said, our friend, former beat writer, and now an immigration lawyer. He's like so far above me, it's not even fair. Colin Nickel. He was the one who turned me on to Rachel Weisz many, many years ago. She is 50 years old. My God, she looks. Oh my God, she has 2 kids. She's married to Daniel Craig, of James Bond fame. And I am almost. Let's see. So my friend Colin Mickle, you guys who have been around the beat a long time may know, he wrote for the OA News, and I don't know as though like sports writing was his passion. He was just good at it. He was really good at it. He ended up moving on. He left sports writing. He became a lawyer, and he lives up on the Cape Cod. He was the one who turned me on to Rachel Weisz. Now, Colin is Jewish. I mean, he's very open about it. I mean, he talks about that and stuff. He kind of makes it a theme when he's joking about stuff. And he used to tell to me that Rachel Weisz was like the hottest Jewish chick he'd ever seen, which I don't. it's weird because I don't really think like that. I didn't realize he was Jewish. And my friend Bradley Handberger, who used to also cover Auburn for the Decatur Daily, he is now a physical therapist in New Orleans. Bradley's also Jewish. So I don't even think of people being Jewish. Like, that's not really a thing for me. Like, that's cool. I mean, I learned a lot from talking to them and asking them questions, but they were always like, oh, she's Jewish and stuff. And I was like, didn't even think about it that way. He was the one who was like, she's so hot. She's so Jewish, too, and she's hot. But it says that on her Wikipedia, it says she was raised Jewish, but never fully connected to the faith. She claims she was, quote, really disobedient herself and has never felt like she fits in anywhere, I guess, religiously. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how she fits in. So anyway, Rachel Weisz, she's lovely, among others. We've also got Jill Arrington, who's a lovely young lady. No doubt. I had to move some of these girls into a different folder here. This is Jen Brown. Wait, where did you go? Oh, there you are. There's Jen Brown. That many of you guys said that you thought she was really hot. No argument from me. I mean, obviously. Why would you? This is Melissa Stark. Not a great shot of her, per se. But she's a cutie. I think a lot of us would agree. And I don't know how you guys feel about Shannon Spake. She is as far as I know, she's like a NASCAR reporter. She may be doing some other stuff too. Let's see if we can find her on. Oh, yeah, here she is. And I don't know how you guys feel about her, but you may feel differently about her now. She's a cutie. Very talented reporter. Shannon Spake. I think she's with FS1 now or Fox, whatever. Web W says Natalie Portman is the hottest Jewish chick. I had no idea she was Jewish. I mean, she's super hot. There's no arguing that. Yeah, there's no arguing that. I don't see how anybody could even argue that. Although she's a Texas fan, I think, which is a minus for me. She's also very thin. No, I mean, I know you guys, you may not be against that. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. It's just a matter of personal preference. It's kind of like, Buffalo Trace versus Eagle Rare. Some people like really thin girls. Some guys, maybe that'd be a turnoff for them. It just depends. Depends on how you look at it. Now, obviously, Doc Dumpster would have some different opinions on that. I'm looking for a good shot of her, but I mean, you guys know who Natalie Portman is, right? Yeah, that was a picture. Couldn't get there. I don't know. These pictures are bad. You guys know who Natalie Portman is. She's like an international actress. Come on, you guys know what she looks like. Still getting more text from administrative assistant. Arby's, we have the meats. Jesse Doe says, give me Hope Solo. Obviously, you like a girl who's very feisty. That's fine. No problem with that. Canoe Man says, Natalie Portman is beautiful. She is. I don't think there's any argument about that. If you haven't seen Black Swan, you need to see Black Swan. I bet you've already seen it, but she's very hot. Yeah. I mean, there's no argument here. Hold on, we can get a picture of her up here. It's the time of the show when we do pictures. Mm-hmm. There's Natalie Portman. Let me put Spake away, and then we'll do Natalie. She's really cute. No arguing that. I don't think anybody would argue that. She's lovely. Meat Mountain. Dude, my nephew brought. We were years ago. I was hanging out with my nephew, and he brought a meat mountain in from Arby's, which I don't even know what the hell's on there. And it's just a sandwich is like this big, right? It's huge. And he ate the whole freaking thing. And he's a thin dude. He's a very thin dude. But holy shiz, man, that was a lot of food. Courtney says I really do need to get off the horn, really. Let's see. Leif B says Hope Solo was hot. Every man should go out with someone at least once that could kick your ass. I'm here to tell you that administrative assistant could 100% whip my ass. I promise you. She's a field hockey player, and she has her field hockey stick still, which is it's a dangerous looking stick, by the way. It's like a long stick, and it's got like a wooden end on it, and she can just pop me right in the head and break my freaking orbital bone, no problem. Matt N, who loves the super chat late in shows, thank you, Matt, says I feel great about Shannon Spake, JG. Okay. I mean, Natalie Portman's obviously gorgeous, but let's see. We got we definitely have Spake on here. There she is. Spake loves to I don't know if you guys follow her on Twitter, but she loves talking about how she like runs a lot, and she's like an Iron Man type person. I don't know if that's a plus or minus for you guys, but she's lovely. She's a very nice person. I met her at Talladega like 10 years ago, and she when she was working for ESPN. Very nice person. Like, she really actually is a really nice person. So Jill Arrington was a nice person when I met her, but she was quiet. Very quiet. I have not met these other girls, I don't think. Wait, hold on. Do I have a Sam Ponder on here? Would somebody ask for that? This must have been from last week. Have we got a Sam Ponder? I don't see a Sam Ponder on here. I got a Bonnie Bernstein, but it doesn't seem like you guys are really as enthusiastic about that one. To me, Leif, listen, I know we got some Hope Solo fans on here. I'm not as big on her. I mean, if you're talking about the U.S. women's national team, she's like, to me, she's like bottom half. But if you guys are into her, that's cool. That's cool. Pocket Watch says administrative assistant crossing you with a field hockey stick would be a great way to signal the show is now over. Yeah, we probably need to get that out. I think it's up in the attic. She hasn't really had a need to use it against me lately because I do what I'm told. But she's threatened to use it before, and I've seen her use it before. She used to hurt people. I've seen her injure somebody with that stick. So, time for a feel-good story, positive note, and that's a wrap. Here come the administrative assistant. Oh, man. Matt N says he's a couple minutes behind, but such is life. Dude, no, never, ever, ever, ever. You always come in late, though. That's the thing. But Matt N, appreciate you with your super chat, bro. Thank you very much for that. Also, Jazzy Joe, of course you guys know he had like 5 tonight. Caddy Wampus, Web W. We had so many. Incredible super chatters. Thank you guys for jumping in earlier. Canoe Man says Sam Ponder is complete smoke in person. She's just not somebody I remember. Not to say that she's not gorgeous. I don't know. Hold on. I put Sam Ponder. It's not going to get it. I'm guessing she's married to Christian Ponder. It's fair, right? Oh, yeah. She's cute. What does she do now? Is she a sports person? Administrative assistant is actually in the house now. Hey, administrative assistant? No, they're all hot. Wait, what? Well, I know what your opinion is on this. I don't want to say what it is, but there's a particular girl here that you think is hotter than the others. There's Sam Ponder right there, by the way. She's really cute. There's no arguing that. No, but seriously, who's the hottest though? It's Jill Arrington, right? This is Sam Ponder. Do you think she's hot? You're saying she's cute, but you could have birthed her? That doesn't change the fact that she's hot. About Jill Arrington. Is she hot or not? Give me a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10. What did you say? An 8 or a 9? Holy cow! Who's a? No, she's not. She's cool.
What? Because you saw her one time.
I hung out with her for like 30 minutes, and she was very unassuming.
I'm sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, because everybody's their persona.
Call Me Biscuit asked a great question. Why is there not a Brain Drain sponsor? We've actually had some interest in that, and I wasn't sure like how you guys would feel about that. Because we just kind of sit around and talk, we talk about the shiz of the day. I don't know how you guys felt. Like, we don't want to be. I don't know how you guys would feel about that. I'm not trying to commercialize too much, I'm serious.
You'll have a Brain Drain sponsor.
Is that true? We will have a Brain Drain sponsor soon, is what administrative assistant says. All right, so Jill, we love you, Jill. I probably should go ahead and wrap it up. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 40 minutes, you guys. We've been doing this a long time. It's been a pleasure hanging out, though. We've been drinking this Wathens that Leif hooked us up with. Absolutely delicious. We drank about not quite half this bottle, but it's pretty good. It was delicious. Canoe Man says the end of this is, you're going to like this one, administrative assistant. Canoe Man says the end of this show should be sponsored by Trojan. Why are you laughing? Matt Nunnally said, he says Shannon Spake is a 9.3. That is bullshit, man. That girl's not a 9.3. She's like a 10.3. Yeah, this probably hurts our ability to get a sponsor, but I feel like I should be real for you guys, I mean, like, it's supposed to be unfiltered, Whew. Shannon Spake, she's really hot. Hey, Courtney, can you give me a 1 to 10 on this girl? What do you think? What do you think?
Honestly, she needs to pull those.
Are you serious? You think her boobs are too low?
Yeah, they're like this.
Like what? 2 inches higher? Whatever. Administrative assistant. I mean, you're doing fine in the boob department. I'm just saying, I don't know why you got to hate.
Hating. Let's go.
Let's see. WebW says you deserve a sponsor. You kill it. I can handle a commercial or two. I know. Administrative assistant's getting on my ass about that. All right, guys. I guess we really will wrap it up. I've been mooring for like an hour and a half now. I do want to say we have officially been streaming for 3 hours and 41 minutes at this point. It's 10:50 in the Central Time Zone, 11:50 for our friends in the Eastern Time Zone. Oh my gosh, we've got a last super chat coming in from Jazzy Joe. Says see ya. Courtney loves Jazzy Joe. Says see y'all on Tuesday. Send me the details. War Damn Eagle, y'all. No, I'm hoping I see you tomorrow, Jazzy. But whatever. We'll do whatever. We'll just do it on Tuesday if you want to. Call Me Biscuit says, tell administrative assistant she better be nice if she wants to make it to August 22nd. That's when Nate gets married, I think. I don't know why you would care about that, but we got married on August 9th. I told Nate.
Oh, really? You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hot. Right?
I was there. I walked down the aisle. No, wait. You'd walk down the aisle. No, I did too? After we got married, I walked down the aisle. You look so beautiful coming down the aisle to me. No, I'm serious. You did. You look great. You look really, really good. You look good right now, but I mean, Wait, what'd you say?
Is that the last time I looked really good? Like,
I'm just saying you looked really good. That's all. Why is that a bad thing? Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up for reals. We've had an incredible show. I feel like we got to shout out all of our super chatters, though. What do you mean? Jazzy Joe, God Cammett, Hornatius, Stoop Up, Collins M, our man from Virginia, who's actually in Montana at this point. He was lamping a little bit, but that's fine. A War Eagle 0008 who called in as well. Raven P. Raven's always here with us, and we appreciate you, brother. Call Me Biscuit had a bunch of super chats tonight. Web M. Yeah, Canoe Man, of course, is a total badass. Web W, Caddy Wampus, Matt N came in late, and Jazzy Joe, of course, an incredible, remarkable performance. Raven Pieces, thanks for doing your thing, JG. Raven, I'm so glad you're here, bro. Every single week. It's appreciated. Jazzy Joe, of course, see you tomorrow, bro. You know, I'm going to send you a DM. We'll get the numbers together. And Call Me Biscuit says, love you guys. Peace. Gonna do it. All right, guys. Seriously, I'm going to wrap it up there. We've been streaming forever. Love you guys. Enjoy the show. Had a chance to talk to so many of you guys, and I appreciate it. Super chatters, of course. You guys know I love you. And we will do a rundown Tuesday afternoon from Voodoo. 12:30 in the PM in the Central Time Zone. Hopefully Jazzy Joe will be there. I know B-Matt will be there. I know Jeffrey Lee will be there. It's to be determined on Nate King. I don't know if we're going to bump his ass or not, but I will buy him lunch. I promise you that. Anyway, guys, until we see you again, keep your feet on the ground and keep your – hold on. Keep your feet on the ground and keep – wait, hold on. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. See ya.